Great burgers complete with McDonald's new mouth-watering crispy strips of hickory.
Second half of our Wednesday night baseball doubleheader coming your way from San Diego. The New York Mets on the road, and they are a red-hot team. Mike Piazza, one of the reasons why, a great road trip. So far in the 5 games, hitting .500, 4 home runs and 8 RBIs. In addition, offensively, MVP numbers right now for Edgardo Alfonzo. .403 since the All-Star break, the second best number in the National League in that time. Welcome, everybody, to the National League East. The topsy-turvy roll continues for the Mets and the Braves. The Braves losers today, 4-1 in their game, and the Mets, for the moment, have a half-game lead. Those two teams still have 6 more games in which to play. Hello, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. Welcome to San Diego. Rubber match in this 3-game set for the Mets. Are they good enough to win it all? The answer to that, yes, they are, but there may be one problem. A lot of clubs have it. It's called starting pitching. For the Mets, the ERA among the starters is only 11th in the National League at 5-point zip. Among the playoff contending teams, it is last. Can the Mets starters get it done? That is a big question. Fred Lynn, you've been in these kind of situations contending for pennants and World Series rings. What do you think?
Well, Gary, you know, you hit the nail right on the head with the Mets pitching staff, with Oral Hershiser long in the tooth as he is, and the rest of the staff aching a little bit. If they could remain healthy, they have enough offense and great defense on this ball club to take them all the way.
Fred, we were looking at the San Diego Ball Club. It is kind of hard to believe this is the same team that was in the World Series last year.
Gary, with the exception of Tony Gwynn's milestone of the 3,000 hits, you know, this ball club really doesn't have a lot to play for anymore. They got a lot of young guys in this ball club. They're already playing for next year, Gary.
That's what we'll be looking at tonight, a lot of those young players. When we come back, can the Mets win another series on the road? They're putting a lot of those W's up. Tony Gwynn's in the lineup. Bobby Valentine's ready to rock.
Statistics show that when people take Motrin IB the minute they feel muscle pain, the foothills feel 14% less hilly. The local color is 33% more colorful, and your husband is 27% sweeter. When you get to the pain before the pain gets to you with Motrin IB, you'll feel like you could ride to Rome, if only you knew which road to take. Motrin IB. Life is too good to feel bad.
On any road, in any kind of weather, you can find yourself out of luck with a flat tire. But not with this tire. Even with no air pressure, you keep driving to safety. Goodyear AquaSteel Run Flat. It could be the difference between finding yourself out of luck or finding the safe way home. AquaSteel Run Flat, only from Goodyear.
Change is taking place all over America. Big change. Because now you can call anyone across America for just 8 cents a minute on calls over 10 minutes. All day, every day. Just dial 1010-321, and you can talk as long as you want to the people you care about the most. You don't have to sign up. Just dial 1010-321, then 1 and the number. It's that simple. 8 cents a minute on calls over 10 minutes. Day or night with 1010-321.
Another beautiful night in San Diego. Nothing new there, and a great night for baseball. A good crowd will be on hand here tonight as Bobby Valentine brings his Mets in with a chance to have a 1-game lead if they can beat the Padres, with Atlanta already having lost their ball game. This ball club putting up their best numbers since their championship '86 season. The Nextel starting lineup: Ricky Henderson will lead it off in left field. Edgardo Alfonzo at second base. John Olerud at first, bats third. Mike Piazza doing the catch and cleanup. Robin Ventura at third base. Darrell Hamilton makes the start in center. Benny Agbayani will make the start in right field. Roger Cedeno regularly in right. Sprained hand, aggravated this past weekend in San Francisco, so he's going to be out for a while. Ordonez at short, and Masato Yoshii is on the mound for the New York Mets. How good is this team? Well, as Fred was talking about, the offense has been absolutely incredible all year. But on this road trip, they've even ratcheted it up another notch, Fred.
Well, even Robin Ventura, Mr. Grand Slam this year. 3 Grand Slams. I think it took me about 12 years to achieve that level. And he got 2 in 1 game. I mean, Robin, how do you do it?
You know, and you know well as a player, Fred, when teams win, there's a chemistry and a thing gets going and the ball starts rolling and everything goes right. That's what's happening right now for the Mets.
Well, Gary, you saw it early in the season. The Mets ball club started off slowly. They were struggling a little bit. You heard a lot of negative things about the manager and this and that. All of a sudden, they start putting a few wins together. Everything's hunky-dory.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Starting tonight, a veteran, 30 years old, Stan Spencer. It'll be his 8th appearance with the big club, 7th as a starter.
Well, Stan Spencer making his first start after being recalled from Las Vegas. Got roughed up earlier in the season, sent him down, tried to get his mechanics back on track. And he gets to come back against the New York Mets and their offense. Oh, boy, what a treat.
He'll hope for some help behind him tonight. It'll be Vanderwall, Owens, and Gwynn in the outfield. You've got some people trying to earn jobs, as Freddie said, for next year. Phil Nevin at third base. Gomez, that's a question at short. Newhand's getting a chance at second base. Wally Joyner is struggling right now at first base. And Ben Davis is probably the catcher of the future for this team.
Jerry, you hit it right on the head with Ben Davis. I mean, he is not a diamond in the rough. He might be kind of smoothing off some of those rough edges up here. You know, he came up about a month and a half ago, and everybody was worried about his hitting. Well, his hitting is great, and his catching is superb. This guy, for a big guy, 6'4", has one of the quickest releases you're going to want to see. And he has a manager in Bruce Bochy, a very tall catcher in himself. There's a look at manager Bruce Bochy, and Boch can help him out. You know, as far as if he gets mixed up with his footwork a little bit, since he's tall, he can help him.
Take a look at the umpires for tonight's game. Ed Rapuano has the plate tonight. Greg Gibson, Frank Pulley, and Mark Carlson. Frank Pulley, among this crew, is on the list of those not to be back unless something happens. Rapuano works the plate. Gibson and Carlson have been a couple of substitutes who have been called up and doing work regularly. As we get closer to that September 1 deadline, that issue becomes more and more paramount. Those umpires whose resignations were accepted. Ricky Henderson will lead it off. But a difference the Mets have had at the top of the order with Ricky Henderson joining this ball club this year. A lot of people felt, looking at Henderson's numbers from last year, that maybe Ricky Henderson's career was winding down. Ricky Henderson has decided this year to wind it right back up again, and he has.
Well, Gary, when Ricky was over here in San Diego just about a year and a half ago, everybody thought he was done. I mean, he wasn't hit. He was getting on base. He was taking his walks like he always does. But he wasn't hitting for power. All of a sudden, he goes over to New York, and he's like he's 30 years old again.
He was saying this afternoon, a couple of people were asking him, when are you going to get done in this game? What are you thinking about in that regard? And he said, they're going to have to pull the uniform off me. There you see the all-time ranking. First in steals, third in walks, and fifth in runs. And he's among the top 10 in steals again this year. Pitch is up high to him. 2-ball, 1 strike count. 72-degree night, clear skies. You can kind of like just say that over and over again when you're playing baseball in San Diego. That's why players love being here. So do broadcasters. Henderson leads it off with a base hit. So Ricky Henderson is on. 2-1 count on him, and he got one down the middle.
Well, one thing about Ricky, he knows what to do with a bad fastball. He's always been a good fastball hitter. He has such a small strike zone, Gary. You know, he's in that abbreviated crouch, and he's only about 5'9" when he stands up straight, and he's got about 2 inches to worry about, and boy, he can handle that zone really well.
He's on, and as we said, he is still a threat to go. He's got a hip that's bothering him. Edgardo Alfonso, the number 2 hitter, batting at .324, tied for 8th in the league in average. He's up there in lots of categories. And he takes the pitch for a strike. He is 3rd in runs, 3rd in hits, 8th in average. Up there among the leaders in doubles. He is 6th in that department in 2 baggers. He is having an MVP year and a career year for him. First half was outstanding. Second half, mercy. Henderson will be held by Joyner. And Spencer will make the throw over on him. Ricky right now, 29 stolen bases. That is 6th in the league. All time, Lou Brock isn't even close anymore. He's not going. High fastball swung on there, and a 2-strike count on Alfonso.
Well, Gary, somebody forgot to tell Ricky Henderson that the first thing that goes is your legs. I mean, he runs. I mean, obviously he's not quite as quick as he used to be, but once he gets going, he can still motor.
And he can read, huh, Fred?
Well, that's a key. You know, he knows the pitcher so well. Now, he probably doesn't know Sanders so well because he hasn't seen him that often. But you steal bases on pitchers most of the time, as Ricky would tell you.
Throw over. He'll make the dive back. You could see how intently he was watching Spencer, because he wants to get his moves down right here for the rest of this game. And so he's watching everything he does when he comes to that set position, try and get a read on when he's going to go to the plate. That's what's happening right here. He wants him to throw over.
Sure, that's exactly right. What a player will do is he'll get what we call a one-way lead. He gets as far off as he can, knowing full well that he's not going to steal, although Ricky was moving towards second base. Pretty quick move by Sanders in an attempt to get the pitcher to throw over there to see how quickly he gets to first base.
Wally Joyner near the seats and off his glove. Well, at this level, you got to believe that one should have been an out. Tough play, but he was there.
Yeah, he's there in plenty of time. He found the tarp, and that's always a key for a first baseman. Where is the tarp? Because what will happen is his knee will hit that and buckle a little bit, and maybe that could throw him off, but that ball should have been hit.
No error charged on it, but there could have been. And that's kind of Wally Joyner's year right there. It has been that kind of a struggle at the plate and in the field for him. And things go wrong. We're talking about how things are going right for the Mets. Everything works. You see Wally just scrunching up his face there. He knows. Should have made that play. Years gone by, he did. He's asked himself all year, why can't I do that stuff this year? Good pitches. He got jammed. Popped up Alfonso to second. Newhan is there and will put it away. And Alfonso's got a 6-game hit streak, retired on the 0-2 pitch. Good delivery by Stan Spencer as he got inside. That's where the Padres have been pitching Alfonso here in this series.
One thing about Sanders is he's not overpowering. You can see that a breaking ball, he hangs it inside. One of the tougher things for a hitter is to hit a ball that's inside, that's off speed. Because a lot of times you're out in front and then you have to double clutch when you see it inside and you jam yourself.
John Olerud now with Henderson on. If Henderson's going to go, could be right here. And the check swing is a called strike. Olerud 6 for 17 on the road trip. Second in the league in that on-base percentage, and that's because of the walks. He has now tied a Met record and will set a new one this year. He's got 97 walks, tying Darryl Strawberry and Keith Hernandez for the Mets' all-time high in walks in a single season. One of the great eyes in baseball as a hitter. Rarely goes after a bad ball. That's why that on-base percentage is up there, because he's got both the walks and the average. Again, Henderson drawing the attention over there with a 1-ball, 1-strike count and 1 down. I think he's got the eyes glued on the 30-year-old right-hander. Base Steelers have gone 9 for 10 in Spencer's starts this year. And Davis behind the plate, of course, has not been up that long. He's got a good solid arm, as Fred said. He's learning the job at this level as well. Outside corner strike to Olerud, 1-2. Spencer's had 1 major league win. Came last year in his debut. He's lost all 5 games this year where he's had a decision. Given up 42 hits in 32 innings. And 8 home runs. Not good. 1-2 pitch is outside to Olerud. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Henderson's still not going. Got to be wondering if Ricky Henderson has had a hip problem I mentioned earlier that's flared up on him on and off, and I know it's hurting him right now, talking before the game with him. Got to believe he would have been running if he was 100% by now.
Well, a lot of times he's just, you know, he might not just be getting a good read on Spencer. He knows the arm of Davis. They have scouting reports, and believe me, even though this Davis is a young kid, everybody knows about it.
Anderson off, not going. Foul back into the screen by Olerud, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Middle of this lineup has some pizzazz in it in the Piazza. He's on deck in that cleanup spot. Then you got Robin Ventura. And some red-hot hitters all year long. Jammed him again. Boy, that was nasty. Almost caught that top hand and did away with it. He fouled that one down off his foot or leg that time and limps away. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Here, the one thing about Spencer, what they were trying to get him to do is to pitch inside with authority. He was basically an outside corner nibbler, and he wasn't throwing with authority inside like he just did against John Olerud, and that's what they were trying to tune him up down in AAA.
He's come inside on Alfonso on the right side, and now Olerud on the left. That's pretty good work here in the first inning with a right-hander. 2-2 count. Henderson not a big lead, and an easy couple of steps back onto the bag. Well, Henderson has created all kinds of problems here already in this game for Stan Spencer.
Gary, having played against Ricky, I mean, he is a thorn in your side.
Olerud takes it the other way, left field. Vanderwall moving over in foul territory. May have room, and he can get to it. Tried to make the sliding catch. So, a couple of plays already in this first inning that could have had Spencer in a much better situation. Joyner didn't make the play. Bruce Bochy, look at his head, shaking it.
Well, Vanderwall is noted for his offensive potential and ability, not his defensive ability. There you saw he did not find a fence. You can see he's making a slide a good 10 feet before he gets to the barrier. That is not knowing your own ballpark. And he doesn't get a chance to play in the outfield very often. And that's one of the reasons why. One of the things you have to do as a fielder, especially an outfielder, you have to know your position. You have to know how much territory is between the line and the fence. And it's like a sixth sense. And if you've been out there long enough, you will know after you cross that line, well, I've got about 10 strides, boom, I can make the play. He just didn't know where he was on the field.
Ninth pitch coming to John Olerud. 2-2 delivery, and he smacks it out towards center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Henderson will stop at second as Owens will get it back in. So John Olerud delivering with a 2-2 count on him. Olerud continues his hot road trip. And the Mets here in the first inning have runners on at first and second, and a tough inning for Spencer, who could have had a couple of outs.
Well, both base hits have been on an off-speed pitch. Looked like he turns the ball over to Olerud, and this is just a great at-bat by John. I mean, he fouled off some tough pitches, inside fastballs, cutters, takes an off-speed pitch and pecks it up the middle just like Ricky Henderson did. That's just a super at-bat, and as you pointed out, Gary, that's a hot team. 2 missed plays, and they get runners in scoring position.
It's going right. It keeps going, doesn't it? And they get Mike Piazza right where they'd want it to be. Their cleanup hitter, we showed you the road trip numbers with a 500 average on the trip. He has now moved up among the leaders in home runs, 10th, RBIs, 10th, coming into today's play. 500 average on this road trip. Had home runs in 4 consecutive games. That was ended last night. He drove a ball here into the second deck in the opening game of this series. The second time he has done that, and only the second player to put one up there twice. Not quite as long as Mark McGwire's home run that's marked up there, but pretty darn close. 2-0 count. Spencer with 2 on here. That one an inside out to right center field. Owens over. Ricky Henderson will tag at second and move over to third. But a big out there for Spencer. 2 down. His heart slowed down a little after he got that up.
Well, anytime a pitcher gets a big home run hitter 2-0 and he has to challenge him, you'd like to throw it on the outside corner, but he throws it on the inside corner. Now, I don't know if Mike was looking away because he likes to hit the ball to right center, but that ball got in on him. It had enough tail. It was a good pitch for a 2-0 pitch. Maybe Mike should have taken it, but, you know, he's a hot hitter. So what the heck?
Give it a whirl. And he loves going the other way with a long ball. So now Spencer's chance to get out of it. Robin Ventura, right field, way back. Goodbye. Home run. 3-run shot for Robin Ventura. His 28th home run and an even 100 RBIs. You try and pick an MVP in this ball club right now, it's very difficult to do.
Well, there's one man putting his bid in for an MVP. high fastball. Robin Ventura always been a good fastball hitter, especially when he can extend his arms. You know, he's just so compact. He doesn't try to do a lot with the ball, but he's strong enough, has a good enough knowledge of the strike zone, and when he gets his pitch, he can drive it. And I think I did hear a smattering of applause from the south side of Chicago there. I wasn't quite sure.
Just a smattering. I think it was Frank Thomas, actually, for his old friend. And a check swing by Hamilton, Darrell Hamilton, over into the dugout. So the Mets, a 3-0 lead, 3 runs, 3 hits. As Robin Ventura continues his streak. And now with 100 RBIs in the year for the Mets third baseman. Spencer had a chance to get out of it. Didn't get it. Didn't get the defensive help behind him. It kept the inning alive. How many times do we see that happen? Don't make the play. You give the team an extra out. And they jump on you. Darrell Hamilton to shortstop. Nice play made by Gomez. But the Mets, 3 runs, 3 hits. They leave nobody on. Ventura, the 3-run homer. When we come back, we'll see the newest member of the 3,000 hit club. Coming up, Tony Gwynn.
Chuck, it's Rennie. I'm stuck. Call me back.
Rennie, we're doing shadow puppets. Call me.
Chuck!
Rennie.
Call me back.
You just left me a message. I'm not going to touch my phone.
Call me.
Tired of phone tag? Nextel's the only national wireless carrier with Direct Connect, a digital two-way radio feature. So, instead of reaching Chuck's voicemail, you can actually reach Chuck. Nextel, how business gets done.
Do I like to shop? Oh, yes. How you doing? Franks and beans? Aisle 5. Beans and franks? Aisle 7.
Hi.
Fat free. Nothing but car. Check this out.
You are 1 million shoppers.
Even at the supermarket, you can do more with the American Express card. I love this card.
Out here, it seems the wind never stops blowing. They call it the velocity zone. Build and remodel homes here, and you soon learn what you can and can't trust. Contractor John Miranda trusts only one window, Anderson. That's why if you ask him to use anything other than Anderson, he'll ask you to sign a release. So his reputation remains solid. Worry-proof, time-proof. Anderson Windows.
Well, the Mets jump out with 3 runs in the first inning and take the lead on the San Diego Padres. Bruce Bochy's ball club down to a red-hot team. Our Nextel starting lineup for San Diego. It'll be David Newhand making the start at second base. Eric Owens second, Tony Gwynn third, Phil Nevin red hot in the cleanup hole, John Vanderwall behind him. Then Wally Joyner, the catcher, Ben Davis, Chris Gomez, the shortstop, and Stan Spencer hitting ninth. The home runs for this ball club, not many. You look at the double-digit guys, Nevin has been a bright, shining light, picking up 17 this year. But for a ball club whose offense was much better last year, the runs have been hard to come by. He, of course, has hit as always. Masato Yoshii on the mound.
Masato Yoshii, you can see his record this year, struggled a bit. You see, anytime a pitcher gives up more hits than innings pitched, the hitters on the other side are licking their chops. And Yoshii is not an overpowering guy. Mixes up a fastball, slider, and a splitter. He's got to have excellent control to get past this lineup.
Mets need him to come on. He'd been moved into the bullpen. Then an injury brought him back out as the Mets have 6 starters on this club. David Newhand getting the start at second base. 25-year-old minor league veteran. Hits it hard to second. Hauled in right at him. 1 away. Defensively, no team has played as well as this ball club behind Yoshii.
Well, you're looking at the New York Mets defensively, and up the middle, they're really strong. Ordonez, Alfonso, and Piazza. Darrell Hamilton, the center fielder, is got lots of speed. He makes it a lot easier for his flank outfielders because he can cover a lot of ground, and these guys just don't give away outs like the Padres did last inning.
No. Makes such a huge difference. They have committed only 56 errors as a team this year, the best in the majors. Yoshii's delivery misses as Owens batting second. one of the players getting a chance. 28 years old, not a lot of major league experience, wanting to earn a job. This season, he's put up some good numbers, batting at .281. Not a lot of Padres have come even close to that one. Not had a hit in this series, however. He's got an 0 for 8 going against the Mets.
Here, he's one of the highlights of this Padres season, this Eric Owens. I mean, he comes to the ballpark to play every day. He doesn't care where he plays as long as he has that uniform on. And that's the kind of attitude that manager Bruce Bochy loves. I mean, he gets that kind of player here, and they thrive here in San Diego.
Toward short, base hit. He's on. That takes care of that Oper. Shot up the middle off Yoshi, and the Padres have one on with one down. And that will bring up the always shining light in San Diego, Tony Gwynn. He was honored again before tonight's game. Dave Winfield was here to recognize Tony and the 3,000 hit mark, and he's still here. And there goes the runner. Hit and run. Mike Piazza's throw to Ordonez is not in time. Well, the Padres, this is the way they have won games this year. They've had to run, and they start against Yoshi in a hurry. Owens the stolen base.
Well, that's one of the reasons they missed Kilby Veras. I mean, they definitely like that top of the order to have the speed. Mike Piazza gets rid of the ball pretty quickly, leaning towards third base with his throw. He'd like to follow through towards second base, but a good jump by Eric Owens, and he's in there. And this kid will run at the drop of a hat.
Gotta love that, don't you?
Oh, I love their philosophy. They just need the bodies to do it.
He's got 29 stolen bases now, tying him with Henderson for 6th, and that one to the gap in left center field. Tony Gwynn comes through again. Padres on the board. It'll be an RBI double for Gwynn.
Can't make up my mind who I like best as the best hands hitter of all time, either Tony Gwynn or Rod Carew. I played with them both. Both of them are flat-footed hitters, very short stride by Tony. Basically puts his front foot up and brings it straight down. He uses all hands. And Rod Carew was the same way. I'm in a quandary. I don't know which one is better, but I wouldn't mind having them both on my team.
Boy, I'll tell you, sweet swings. Now Phil Nevin, 3-1 ball game now. Nevin, who's been red hot on the check swing, did not go around. Greg Gibson at first base checking. Both of these pitchers tonight have a proclivity to give up hits and runs. You got Yoshi with a 5.72 earned run average, and Spencer coming in with a 7.71. A 1-0 count, one away. And get a new baseball on this one. 2 balls, no strikes on Nevin. So for the starter, Stan Spencer, a little help here. He'll come out and try and regroup after giving up that 3-run homer. Looks like a little meditation going on over there.
He's saying, what if? You know, what if a couple pop-ups would have been caught? I'm out of the inning unscathed. I'm ahead 1-0.
Things you say quietly when you're on the bench to yourself. 2-0 delivery. Nevin takes it down low for a ball. Talking with Nevin and Bruce Bochy as manager today, the infield is a very questionable situation long-term for this ball club for next year. And Nevin simply went up to Bochy about a month ago, and he said, Skip, please, he said, I beg, please give me a chance to play third. He's produced. Robin Ventura, long throw, flat-footed. On the money. Gwynn has to hold, and there are 2 down. Ventura took a bit of a bad hop on that and caught him on his heels. 5 times with a Gold Glove, and after another one this year.
Well, with a play like that, he's not hurting his cause. Robin, on a 3-0 count, I don't know if he was ready for that ball to be hit, but like we said earlier, the Padres have nothing to lose. So a 3-0 count with their best home run hitter up there, why not let him whack? That was a good play by Robin. Got caught in between hops. Strong arm from third base gets him.
We were talking about before, Fred, you They didn't make the plays, the Padres, in the top half of the inning, and the Mets make one, come right back and make one here in the bottom half. 2 down now, and an 0-1 count on John Vanderwald. Premier pinch hitter, 104 in his career, 11th all-time in that department, all-time in pinch hits. As Fred said, gets a chance to start here to put the left-handed bat in against Yoshi. Maybe give up a little bit defensively in the outfield to get the bat in. And the pitch is inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mets have Pat Mahomes warming up in the bullpen. I don't think they would do that if they weren't serious. Mahomes got up to throw yesterday. Maybe they're not going to use him tonight, and he's just getting his day's work in. 1-1 delivery. That one fouled off. And a 1 ball 2 strike count. Yoshi has struggled for the Mets. For all the hits that he's given up against the Giants, though, he worked 6 innings, 3 runs, 4 hits in his last outing in the rotation. He's only had 1 loss and 4 no decisions in his last 5 starts. 34-year-old veteran of the Japanese League, who has always struggled here in the second half of the season at the Major League level. 1-2 delivery, swung on a foul back. Japanese pitchers pitch only once a week, every 7 days. And when Yoshi came over, it was a transition to be put in a rotation where you're working in that 5-man situation, and it seems to show up in the second half of seasons for him.
Gary, a guy that depends a lot on breaking balls to get you out. After a while, the hitters they smarten up. They just forget about that and wait for you to throw some kind of soft fastball over. And sooner or later, you're not going to get your breaker ball over 90% of the time.
That's why he has to nibble a lot. 1-2 delivery, and Vanderwald with a big cut is out of there. And nobody knew how many outs there were. Both teams were looking at the home plate umpire like, is that the inning? Yes, it is.
This man has a secret. It's a secret that'll give you the edge in your career. Sculpt your body and take your love life to new heights. What's the secret? It's Men's Health. Every issue brings you tons of useful stuff on the topics that matter most to men, like how to build amazing abs, lose weight fast, slash your cholesterol 30 points in 30 days, plus have great sex every day until you die. Call now for your free trial issue. Get the latest health breakthroughs, answers to your intimate questions, plus step-by-step exercise posters. Discover what women want and why they have men spinning in circles. Call now for your free trial issue of Men's Health. Keep it and get a full year for just $21.97. You'll also receive 3 free guidebooks: Quick and Healthy Cooking for Men, Burn Fat, Build Muscle, and the Men's Health Guide to Ultimate Intimacy. Don't delay. Call now for your free trial issue and 3 books. Get in on the secret.
Call 1-800-554-9000 now.
Discover the amazing hitting secrets of America's finest baseball school in Teaching the Mechanics of the Major League Swing 2. Tommy Mansky's powerful teaching video that features the same revolutionary techniques that have produced baseball world's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Parents, players, and coaches have been simply amazed at their students' rapid week-by-week improvement. These award-winning techniques benefit players of all ages and ability levels and make a valuable addition to any coach's library and a great gift. At just $29.95, call now.
ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball is brought to you by Anderson Windows. Worry-proof, time-proof. Anderson Windows. And by 10-10-321. Now just 8 cents a minute for calls over 10 minutes.
Welcome back, San Diego. Gary Thorne along with Fred Lynn. Mets trying to win another against San Diego. They split the first 2. Mets have won 6 of the 8 games these teams have played so far this season. San Diego came back after losing the opener of the series and won 3-2 in last night's game. Benny Agbayani fouls that one off. Agbayani, Ordonez, and Masato Yoshi coming up for the Mets. Agbayani had that big start that gained national attention. I mean, all the home runs he had. He had 10 home runs in his first 73 at-bats. And that's enough to gain you some notoriety. Obviously, the scouting reports catch up with you after a while, and that kind of home run pace slows down unless you're named Aaron or Ruth.
Or McGuire or Sosa.
And Big Mac got another one today. Sammy's playing tonight. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Agbayani with that big cut fouls it back.
Gary, traditionally what happens is as a league and a new hitter, they'll see if you can hit the fastball first. And once you've proven that you can hit the fastball, a good fastball, then they'll start doing something else to you. Maybe throw a little slider, a little this, all that. But until you prove the fastball, you're going to get that. Well, he proved it pretty quickly that he could hit it.
Yeah, he's a dead red hitter. He hasn't had a home run, Freddie, since June 25.
Consistency is what we're after.
He's a quality player for them, though. He's had a good year. Roger Cedeno normally, as we said, would be starting in right. Cedeno's got a sprained hand. Bobby Valentine does not want to play him until the team gets home on Friday, just to give it an extra rest. It's an injury Cedeno got by sliding into second base, jammed the hand, and re-injured it, aggravated it in San Francisco this past weekend. Agbayani chops that one towards the gap. One hopper at the 370 mark. Bayani's on his way to second base, and he'll stop there with a leadoff double. He can hammer those, so a leadoff double, Agbayani on, and let's check in with Bill Pito. Bill.
All right, Gary, Houston and Milwaukee. At one point, the Brewers led Houston 4-1, but here with the game tied at 4, Paul Bacco, base hit, just gets through there. The former Met Carl Everett scores, and Houston goes on to win by the final score of 6-4. The Reds lost. The Astros lead the Reds by a game now.
That's when you say the gods are with us. Here's the battle for the playoff spots. You see these 4 going after it. Mets, Braves, Astros, and Reds. 3 division winners and a wild card somewhere. Probably out of that Mets and Braves East. Showed bunt, takes the pitch up high. Ray Ordonez. Ordonez at 254 has a 6-game hit streak. 6 for 17 on this current road trip the Mets are on. They went to San Francisco, took 2 out of 3, and split the first 2 here. Agbayani at second base. Not showing bunt on that one, and the breaking ball's outside to him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ordonez has hit over the 300 mark before the All-Star break. He got his average up that high. He has really had a roller coaster average this year, up and down. They've tried to get him, obviously, to not hit fly balls. He's not going to be a power hitter. And when he tries to put the ball, line driver on the ground, he's going to have a better average.
It's sometimes, Gary, it takes a younger player a little bit longer time to realize that he can't hit home runs, especially when he sees somebody else do it. He should hit the ball to the right side in batting practice every day. Never hit the ball to the left side. Just keep pounding it over there, pounding it over there. I saw Rick Burleson do that when he first came up. A little guy thought he could hit home runs. He was about 260. All of a sudden, he discovered right field, and he was a 295 hitter.
Ray Ordonez came into the season hitting 242. Bobby Valentine, his staff worked with Ordonez to do just what Fred's talking about here. 2-2. He has that's a real crank on an inside pitch. Ordonez has the luxury of not having a lot of people jumping on him. 1, because he's such a great fielder, and 2, he's on a ball club where he knows, and so does everybody else, that he doesn't have to hit. So sometimes I think he takes advantage of that and just kind of rocks back and tries to nail one. Agbayani on at second base. Nobody out. 2-2 count. And again, fouled it back, holding the count.
Well, Gary, you pointed it out. He's in a defensive position. He plays shortstop. He's one of the best defenders in the league. And notoriously, shortstops are supposed to play defense first and offense second. Well, today's ball game seems like every shortstop you see these days has hit 30-plus home runs. So he's thinking, well, maybe I should be in with those guys.
I think that's right, Brad. I think you're absolutely right. When you've got A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, and you've got Jeter, especially with Jeter playing in New York, you've got great shortstops. He's going to compare himself to those guys, and he wants to be there with that average.
I mean, look at Omar Vizquel, hitting 335 this year with Cleveland. I mean, every shortstop's having a great year, seems like, offensively, so maybe he's putting a little bit more pressure on himself to hit. And all he needs to do is feel like a Gold Glover like he does.
2 ball, 2 strike count, and a chopper up the middle, and he's got a base hit. The rabbit goes to center. Owens up. Here's the throw on Agbayani. Not in time. An RBI single. Ray Ordonez. who now has a 7-game hit streak. And the Mets tack another one on and lead it 4-1.
Number 21,
This is just a super at-bat by Ordonez, trying to advance the runner to third base with less than 1 out. Here's a play by Owens, gets the ball cleanly, and that airmails the cutoff man. If Ordonez is alert at first base, he could be standing on second base right there because Nevin had no chance to cut that ball off.
Make that big turn and hope to get on second. He didn't, looking for the bunt with Yoshi up. They charge at the corners. He lays down a nice bunt. Wally Joyner, he'll go. New hand covering, sacrifice, moving Ordonez down to second base with just 1 away. So Yoshi helps himself out. I was talking about shortstops, Fred. I saw an article the other day. I was looking right now in the American League. You've got Garcia Pera and Jeter 1-2 in average. Vizquel is 4. The last time that a shortstop won a batting title was Dick Groat, 1960, with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the last American League shortstop to win one was 1945. His name with the Yankees, George Snuffy Sternweiss. So you don't have shortstops winning many batting titles, and here are 3 in the top 4 in the American League.
Yeah, and A-Rod would have been up there, but he missed a month.
Yeah.
So he's only got 33 homers.
So it is the time of the shortstops, both defensively and offensively. That's kind of the other amazing thing, is that despite those great averages, those guys can play the game in the field.
Well, they don't let their batting prowess take their precedent of what position they play. They play a defensive position, and all of those guys are very cognizant of that.
Ricky Henderson leaned back a little. Stan Spencer may be getting tired of the 4 runs, 5 hits. Second inning.
What he's tired of is these batters taking that outside breaking ball and punching it through the middle. So he's going to move him off the plate a little bit, although Ricky's not moving. You throw in there, you're going to hit him.
2-0 count, runner at second base. Only 1 away. Inside corner strike that time. Ricky takes the long look. Wasn't happy with the call as Spencer came right back in on him. Anderson singled and scored. First time up. Now raised his average to .325. Who would have thought it? Outside corner strike. Anderson really didn't like that one. 2-2.
I think he didn't like it because he didn't swing at it. Fastball inside corner, now fastball outside corner. Ricky's not ready for it. That's good pitching by Spencer. 2 in a row inside. Move him off the plate a little bit, at least thought-wise. Then you got to open up that outside corner.
It just 236 with Oakland last year. 274 with San Diego in '97. 241 the year before that. That's why people were wondering about Henderson and where the numbers were going to go. Now at 325. Off second base, Ray Ordonez. No throw made. New hand moved in. Ordonez, not a base stealer. He will run once in a while, but rarely. He's got 6, but been caught 3 times. And not likely to go here with only 1 away and Henderson up. Well, there he goes. And fouled off. Okay, I got to go home now. Nice working with you, Fred. Oh, my.
That's why you do the play-by-play.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I wanted to prove the point, and I did.
That never works, does it?
Never works. As soon as you say it, he's off and running. Thank you very much, Ray Ordonez.
59 straight free throws, clank.
Go ahead, run again. Make me look bad. 2-2 the count. What an inside-out swing that was. Cue shot going to third. Joyner's going to make the throw, and Ordonez not in time. Anderson retired 4-3, and Ordonez moved up as soon as he saw the ball going to first. And Anderson is the second out.
Second baseman, Ed Norton.
Well, usually if a younger player were to have a swing like that, and a couple of veterans will be sitting there. They might be saying something. They might be smiling. Now, since Ricky's the elder statesman on the club, I don't know that anybody is going to say that to him except for maybe me. But, Ricky.
What was that? 2 down. Edgardo Alfonso, first ball hitting, popped it up at the plate. Nobody sees it but the pitcher, and he's going to play it. Davis had no idea where the ball was. Stan Spencer tried to point it out, but Davis wasn't going to pick it up in time, so he makes the play himself. Mets add a run. They're up 4-1.
America's newest tire store has just the tires for you, and just the battery, and shocks, and brakes for your Ford, Mercury, or Lincoln. One-stop service with factory-trained technicians and competitive prices. Now get a Motorcraft-tested tough battery for $59.95. Quality care service, the right people, the right parts, and always the right prices at participating Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers.
Now, what'll it be, sweetheart? Let me guess. A nice, cold Pepsi. I wouldn't want to hear one of those crazy voices of yours, huh?
Honey, you ain't heard nothing yet. Hit it, fellas.
One day he'll be able to say, I love you. One day he won't need to hold your hand. One day you won't be his best girl. And before you know it, you'll be off to college. I mean, look at him with that little pencil. Can't you get him a computer, a printer, something? He's such a cute kid. Thank you.
Get everything for back to school. Come into Office Depot. Low prices every day.
Ball!
Still trying to make the major leagues? Log on to MajorLeagueBaseball.com to reach the major leagues every day. Video highlights on demand, live game audio. Make the moves in MLB's official online fantasy game. Grab the latest gear at the official store. MajorLeagueBaseball.com lets you be a part of the major leagues, and it may even help your game.
Mets leading it by a score of 4-1. Gary Thorne with Fred Lynn here in San Diego. 4-5-0 for the Mets. Padres 1-2-0. Each team has left one on. Santo Yoshi, the starter, gets the strike on Wally Joyner. And what has happened here? For Wally Joyner, career .292 hitter coming into this season. He's batting .237. And he's not getting good cuts. He hasn't had an extra base hit in 86 at-bats. And this is a guy who's pounded out doubles throughout his career.
Well, he's been injured off and on the last couple of years, and definitely his bat speed has slowed down somewhat. There's no question about that. Wally's always had a pretty long swing, and when you get older, if you don't make some kind of adjustment to speed up that swing, you're going to get handled. Here you see Wally with a sinking fastball. This is the kind of ball that Wally always hits well. He gets ahead of the bat out, plenty of time. You can see he's fooled a little bit as he brings his back foot towards the pitcher. Hit the ball fairly well, but that was an off-speed pitch. The balls that are giving trouble are the hard stuff in. And when you get older, that is the toughest ball to hit.
So he is out of there. Santo Yoshi gets the leadoff batter here in the second inning. And here is Ben Davis, the catcher we've been talking about. Bruce Bochy cannot say enough about this 22-year-old young man and the future he's got. He is the probable starter behind the plate for a long time here in San Diego. They think he has got what it takes. He's made 26 of his 29 starts behind the plate for the Padres.
Gary, I was fortunate enough to be here when he came up and when the Padres were in that 14-game winning streak, and I got to see him play his second game. And I was so impressed with the way he called the game, the way he handled the pitchers. No one shook him off.
Pretty good wood, left center field. Henderson. A little snap catch there, and there are 2 down. Let's check in again with Bill Pito. Bill.
All right, Gary, the Giants won today, so the D-backs need a victory to stay 8.5 games in front of San Francisco. D-backs and Cubs. Damian Miller goes into left field. Steve Finley rounding third. In he comes. D-backs now lead the Cubs 2-0, bottom of the third.
Well, here's a look, Bill, at the National League West now with the Giants winning. The Diamondbacks still up by 8 games. Padres are 14 out. I mean, Padres, Dodgers, Rockies, their seasons are now what's going to happen next year. And really, the Giants have a real long road to hoe to get back into that race in the West, the way Arizona's playing right now.
Well, the Giants hung in there so tough with so many injuries to key players. I mean, they did so well without Barry Bonds, and then he finally got back in. Still not quite right hitting-wise, and then they lose Jeff Kent. I mean, you just can't lose those kind of players and expect to compete.
They've had a same kind of the last 2 seasons after the All-Star break. Came out flat, then put on a run at the end of last season, and are trying to do that again this year. 1 ball, 1 strike count, 2 down. Chris Gomez. Gomez will take Yoshi's pitch away. Gomez 1 for 5 in this series. 28-year-old shortstop. 251 career average. Right around those numbers again this year for Gomez. 2-1 delivery. Question as to whether or not he's the one to play short next year and beyond.
Well, they have Darian Jackson. He's pretty flashy and can make the exceptional play. They don't know if he can make the everyday play all the time. That was his knock when he first came up. Hit a little bit for power, which they didn't expect. But Chris Gomez is a solid guy. I mean, if you have a lot of hitting on your ball club, you want Chris Gomez in your lineup because he's going to steady that infield, stabilize it. He's going to make all the plays at shortstop. He's going to hit you a little bit, not for power, but he's not going to hurt you.
And therein lies the problem if you had the team around you, which right now they don't. 3-2 delivery, slap towards second. Edgardo Alfonso's up with it. And Masato Yoshi comes on and retires the side in order. When we come back, we will see the middle of the order. Olerud, Piazza, Robin Ventura has already got a dinger tonight.
Outside bugs would rather be inside. Get bugs before they come in by calling 1-800-TERMINIX. For convenient outside service backed by the best guarantee in the business. Keep bugs out. Call 1-800-TERMINIX. No bugs, no hassles.
Right now, Firestone tires are on sale. 4 for $99. Add a new 50,000-mile warranty, and people will buy them 8 at a time. Maybe even 12.
The 4 for $99 sale at Firestone.
That meeting is going to start whether I get rid of this headache or not. So I took Advil Liquid Gels. Stronger and faster than extra strength Tylenol on tough pain. It's the only pain reliever with liquid inside. Advil Liquid Gels. Stronger and faster. I can't talk right now.
Okay, I love you.
Me too.
Me too what?
You know, that thing you just said, me too. Ditto.
Ditto? You mean I love you?
Oh, yeah.
So the third quarter is on target, and as soon as young Joe tells his wife that he loves her, we'll talk about the fourth quarter.
At Sprint, we know it's not just about one flat rate for your long-distance calls.
I love you.
It's about the value of every word. Isn't that the point of contact?
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me beside the righteous. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, but thou art with me. Thy comfort me.
Let's have the 4-1 lead. A reminder, Sunday Night Baseball coming up. You'll be seeing Ramirez, Alomar, Domi, and Vizquel. They'll drive the Indians to Seattle to take on Ken Griffey Jr. and Alex Rodriguez and the Mariners. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. A couple of those names we were talking about. And a strike taken. John Olerud. Olerud, a single, and scored in the first inning on the home run by Robin Ventura. The 8th most difficult batter to strike out in the National League, John Olerud. That's why he has drawn the 97 walks, why his on-base percentage all year long has been near the top. He is second only to Bagwell in on-base percentage in the National League.
Here, that's pretty unusual for such a tall hitter, because usually tall guys and long swing, long loopy swing most of the time, but John chokes up on it, but pretty quick swing, you know, got a flat bat, you know, like a George Brett style, and just tries to put the bat on the ball. Doesn't try to get too big with it.
and will go to left field given any chance. Fastball inside corner. Well, let's see. Ray Ordonez doesn't steal bases. John Olerud doesn't strike out. I'm 0 for 2. I think in California they have the 3-strike rule. So if I get one more of these, and I got a long way to go to do it, I'm probably in the Hooskow for the remainder of my 5-year term.
So what stocks do you like?
Man, unbelievable. It's like they're listening to me. Piazza. He got called out. 1 down. Spencer gets his first strikeout, of course. 1 away. Mike Piazza flied out to center his first time up. He has faced Spencer 4 times without a hit off him. We said Spencer being called up from the minors, not faced many of these hitters. He made his second major league start September 1 of '98 against the Mets here, making his 7th start of the season and his first since the recall tonight. Piazza's taking all the way for a strike 2 and 1. Finished strong last year, 361, 14 homers, 52 RBIs, and looks like he's going to do the same thing this year. And the big finish. Left field, way back. Just take a good look. Goodbye, home run. Mike Piazza. He'd hit one in 4 consecutive games. He didn't get one last night. He gets one tonight.
This is a veteran move here. He had a 2-0 pitch last time up. He got fooled on an inside fastball, flied out weakly to right field. 2-0 fastball this time. He takes it, gets an inside fastball. He's looking for it this time. See ya. Good night. That is good hitting right there. He set that pitcher up.
Piazza delivers homer number 28, RBI number 89. And the man who has the other home run in this ball game, Robin Ventura, a 3-run shot in the first inning. Ventura's got 28 home runs as well. Fans applauding as they get the ball thrown back out onto the field, of course. Used to be only at Wrigley Field, Chicago. Now they do that a lot of different ballparks. But it's still a homer. 5-1 Mets. Robin Ventura. Ventura now 10 home runs and 24 RBIs in his last 21 games. 10 home runs, 24 RBIs, 21 games. He's had 47 RBIs in his last 46. Way up high, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Spencer has now given up the 2 home runs in this game, 10 on the year, in 35 innings. Off-speed delivery. Ventura's gone. Second strikeout for Stan Spencer. Two down. Piazza still hitting .500 on the road trip now. 11 for 22.
You look at the compactness of Mike Piazza's swing. Well, that is a lean-back attack there at the end, that follow-through in the finish. But it's really quick coming through the zone. It's really short and compact. And you know, one of the amazing things that you just pointed out, that he gets stronger in the second half. Well, normally you don't see that for catchers. I mean, it's a grind to catch him day in and day out. And for a guy to maintain that type of hitting and power numbers through the second half is truly amazing.
Darrell Hamilton up. Boy, Piazza likes the West Coast. I mean, all those years with the Dodgers, he piled up big numbers. He's over 330 against the Giants, against the San Diego Padres. Piazza's hitting about 316 now with 17 home runs. That one off the left-hand side off Hamilton's bat on the check swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Darrell Hamilton lined out his first time up softly. 3 for his last 13. One of the few in the lineup who's had a bit of a struggle on this road trip. Speedy center fielder for the Mets. Inside out's a foul again. Remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Since coming to the Mets on the trading deadline, Hamilton's hitting .370 in 17 games as a Met with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Down the line, Vanderwall coming from left field, and no one's going to get it. Piazza on this road trip not only has the .500 batting average we were talking about, but he's had 5 home runs in the 6 games, 9 RBIs, and that .500 average. He's had at least 1 RBI in the last 7 games.
Well, it's nice when the middle of the order is producing. You know, it takes the load off of everybody else when the big guys are living up to expectations.
It's a dramatic improvement for this Mets team from a year that wasn't all that bad last year. 3-2 delivery and a walk. First one given up by Spencer, and Hamilton draws it with 2 down in the 3rd inning, and he has good speed. Bruce Bochy's on the phone. 5 runs, 6 hits now for the Mets off Spencer. He will have to keep an eye on Hamilton. Benny Agbayani, the hitter. Agbayani in the off-speed pitch. It's up high to him, ball 1. Spencer, in the 7 games he's pitched, 6 starts coming into this one, opponents were hitting .307 on him. Both ways. Left-handers 290, right-handers 324. And a 2-0 count. May want to draw a little time right here as the bullpen is active. Looks like Davis was sent out as the bullpen just starting to warm up here. And Dave Smith, the pitching coach, may want to just try and settle this down a little bit. 2-0 count. Mike Piazza coming into this ball game we mentioned on the road trip in San Francisco on Friday. He clocked one that looked like it hurt him, said it didn't. Came back Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday to straightaway center field. And then here, put one into that second deck. Second time we said he's done that. You may have seen that white seat over on the right-hand side. That marks where Mark McGwire hit it. And Piazza was only a few rows shy of that long home run put out there by McGwire.
The first time that as we hone in on our telephoto lens to get Mark McGwire's shot, the first time I met Mike Piazza, I shook his hand, and his grip, his hand strength, he might have the strongest handshake I've felt in the big leagues. Man, this looks like a claw hammer grabbed me. I said, please let go. Thank you. I'm really happy to meet you, too.
And I want my hand for later. 3-0 count. Agbayani takes it. That's probably, Freddie, one of the reasons he's so successful hitting, leaning away. I mean, he hits a lot of balls the other way that are inside, and he hits with his upper body.
He is so strong. He insides out that ball so well. He just stays in there with his left arm, and he fights him out of there.
Agbayani fouls it off with Hamilton running with 2 down. A 3-ball, 2-strike count. Mets have scored in every inning, 3 in the first, 1 in the second. They've added another here in the third on the homer by Piazza, 3-run homer by Ventura in the first inning, and Ordonez an RBI single.
I don't think we're going to have to extend that past the 5th, but you see that many pitches from a young man. Finally throws a slider to a right-hand hitter.
He actually struck the side out. Trouble was in between. Mike Piazza launched one. Home run, number 28, giving the Mets a 5-1 lead.
Save a place for me. Save a space for me. In your heart. In your heart.
Every year, the United Negro College Fund helps thousands of students go to college. But for everyone we help, there's one we can't. Please support the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Hey, what if I wanted to paint the sky? Where do I find the blues? Or the reds or golds or silver grays or some other sky-like hues? And hey, Van Gogh is yellow, how you brighten up your day? I need to travel to the stars, can you paint out the way? Say hello, where to go, whatever you want to know. Ask how, ask now, ask Sherwin-Williams.
Here, man, Coors Light. Coming up.
Allow me to say a few words in this beer's memory. He was so young and so full of carbonation. Little bubbles. Everyone loves this frost-brewed Coors Light. So let us send him off in a way that is dignified, respectable, and 100% recyclable.
Maybe I could console his family.
Coors Light.
ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball is brought to you by your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Ask how, ask now, ask Sherwin-Williams. And by Original Coors. Expect more from an original. Original Coors.
Great to have you with us. Second half of our doubleheader, and the Mets trying to take this series, have the 5-1 lead against the San Diego Padres. Atlanta lost their game today. And a tough night for Stan Spencer. He is out of the ball game. So he works only 3 innings in his 7th start and first since the recall. Gave up 2 home runs. And Piazza's blast was enough to get him out of there. Robin Ventura had the 3-run shot in the first inning. Little defensive help in that first inning, and Spencer might have been out of it without having gone that far into the lineup. Ed Giovanola is the pinch hitter. And Masato Yoshi outside to him for a ball. On the top of the order, as Newhan and Owen will follow. So, tough start tonight. Now it's going to be up to the pen. Played by Edgardo Alfonso, and 1 away. Giovanola retired in a hurry. Carlos Almanzar's been ready to go in the last inning, but with Spencer due up, they wanted to not have to make the change. They could get to the inning, and they did. And now they will bring him on to pitch in the 4th inning. 1 down here in the 3rd. Back to the top of the order. Newhan up, lined out to second base. His first time up. Masato Yoshi with some runs to work with, and that's what you want to do when you got them. Those strikes. Alfonso, 2 down.
You look at Stan Spencer, what he accomplished tonight, and manager Bruce Bochy tried to go with the young guy as long as he could, but the Mets are in a pennant race, and in all fairness to the other ball clubs, if a guy's struggling, you got to get him out of there, and he definitely was struggling.
Bruce Bochy making the decision with a pinch hitter to do just that. Now 2 down. Owens had a single and scored. The Padres runner came in the first inning. He had an 0 for 8 at that point. Yoshi is now retired 7 straight for the Mets. Yoshi, first career start against San Diego came on April 27. He lost that game 6-2. He worked only 4 2 innings, 4 2/3 in that ball game. Gave up 4 runs, 6 hits. Tonight, though, he's got a 5-run lead to work with, and only in the 3rd inning. Making his 22nd start, and 24th appearance. Yoshi misses down low with it, 2-1.
Gary, even tonight the Padres have a makeshift lineup because without Rivera and Sanders, that's 38 home runs you don't have in the lineup. So Yoshi is catching a break here.
And that one just missed outside. 3-ball, 1-strike count on Eric Owens. Mets had won 6 consecutive games against the Padres prior to the 3-2 win by San Diego last night. What a struggle it has been for Bruce Bochy and his club. Fouled off. Looking at the numbers, Freddie, from last year, they were 12th in average. They're 16th this year. They were 8th in slugging. They're 16th this year. They were tied for 9th and on base. They're 14th this year. I mean, the offensive side of the game has virtually disappeared.
Well, you can't get rid of Vaughn, Finley, and Caminiti and not expect to suffer offensively. I mean, those are three key players. I mean, with some slot and average.
Whoa. Thought he had a walk. Owens was on his way to first base. Instead, Masato Yoshii got the strikeout, his second. Ray Ordonez and Yoshii with a chance when we come back.
Do you know the difference between trading and investing? The investment bank Donaldson, Lufkin, and Jenrette has spent the past 40 years advancing its research and analysis because we know it's not about the trade. It's about what you do before the trade. That's why we've put our insights and information online with DLJ Direct to help serious investors make decisions on their own. Look at a stock's performance, how it compares with the markets. Gain access to DLJ lead-managed IPOs as a qualified investor. And learn what the top analysts say using DLJ's own analysis of 1,500 companies in over 100 industries. Log on to DLJ Direct, the best online broker according to Barron's, or call toll-free. And right now, with this special offer, you'll get a 6-month, 26-issue subscription to Barron's with our compliments when you activate your account. Donaldson, Lufkin, and Jenrette, putting our reputation online.
Discover the amazing training secrets of America's finest baseball school in an exciting instructional video. Baseball World's Defensive Drills video features professional scout and instructor Tommy Mansky and the same techniques that produced his back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Collegiate Baseball Magazine's editor calls it a masterpiece, the best drill video ever produced. This video is endorsed by top professionals like superstar Fred McGriff.
This is the instructional video that gets results.
The Defensive Drills video benefits players of all ages and ability levels and makes a great gift, too, so call now.
Yes! Touchdown!
Where are the games you want to see? On ESPN Game Plan on pay-per-view. See over 100 college football games no matter where you live. To order, call your cable company, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
New York Mets trying to win another series, and they've got a 5-1 lead over the Padres as we go to the 4th inning, and they've knocked the starter out of the game. Padres go to the pen.
And Carlos Almanzar is back in the ball game. He's allowed 16 runs in his last 13 innings, and over the last 9 times out, he's had an ERA of over an 11, and opponents have hit 320 off him in that span. So he's not getting many guys out. He can get right-handers out pretty good because he slings the ball up there with a slider, but lefties give him a lot of problems.
So the 25-year-old right-hander out of the Dominican Republic goes to work against Ray Ordonez from Cuba. And Ordonez slaps that one towards the middle. Has he done it again? No. Gomez in time? No. A Gold Glove shortstop with a head-first dive into first base. Managers get gray hairs over those kind of plays. But he's on. 2 for 2, 2 singles.
That is not the quickest way to get to first base. I don't care what anybody tells you. Sometimes you can try to steal a call, but you see that done so often these days, and it's such a stupid play because if Wally is not paying attention, he steps on his fingers, and there goes the pennant.
They told him and told him, but out of habit, I guess, he just keeps doing it. But at first base, just ought to have a rule, never your Ray Ordonez slide into first base, ever.
The only time you do it is if you are heads up enough and the first baseman is drawn off the bag and he's trying to tag you, you can try to elude him with a slide. Other than that, you run through the bag.
Ordonez on, hit number 7 for the Mets, looking for the bunt. Yoshii again trying to sacrifice, fouls it off. He had a sacrifice in his first at-bat. A chance to do it again here. Ordonez back. Yoshii's turned into a pretty good bunter. He's got 3 sacrifices. 7 hits in 34 at-bats as a hitter, all singles. Bobby Valentine, in his day, one of the game's really fine bunters. Knows how to teach it. 1 strike count. They charge at the corners. Drop the bunt. Back to the mound. Lay's got to go to first. Another sacrifice. Well, Yoshii's 2 for 2 in that department. 1-4 in the putout. The NFL on ESPN continues tomorrow, 7:30. It begins with the NFL tonight. Chris Berman will get you caught up with all the training camp news. Then at 8:15, Mike Holmgren leads the Seattle Seahawks into San Francisco to battle Steve Young and the 49ers. Tomorrow, ESPN. It's that time. Mets with a 5-1 lead, runner on at second base. And an RBI chance again for Ricky Henderson, 1 for 2 with a single. Takes a slider in the outside corner for a strike. Ricky's not been happy with the calls all night of Ed Rapuano, home plate umpire, and has showed it a couple of times.
You get a look at the outfield positioning of Tony Gwynn, ex-teammate of Ricky Henderson, almost shading him like a left-handed pull hitter. Big gap in right center for Ricky, who predominantly hits balls over the middle of the plate to left center. You can see Tony hugging the line there, and a huge gap into right center. In his younger days, Ricky would take the ball to right center, but now he's a little bit older. He shoots that ball to right field a lot. Tony knows it, played him accordingly.
He's got a runner in scoring position, Ordonez, with 1 down. Hitting only 196 with runners in scoring position for Henderson. There's what Fred was talking about. Ordonez will tag up. Lynn had that call on the night. Perfectly positioned, and that will retire Ricky Henderson, moving Ray Ordonez over with 2 down. It could have been a problem, Freddie, if he's over towards center field.
Yeah, if he's playing in the gap or even 90 feet off the line, which is in line with second base, that's a long run for Tony. But Tony's 38 years old. He's pretty smart. He's been around a long time. He knows the hitters, and he knows his pitching staff. And that's the key to outfield or infield positioning, knowing how your pitching staff pitches certain hitters.
Runner at third base, Edgardo Alfonzo up. Almanzar's thrown 6 pitches, all strikes. First one he's not had in the strike zone right there, 1-0. 25-year-old who has really struggled trying to get outs. Came up for a couple of chances with Toronto in '97 and again in '98. Not much major league experience. Alfonzo takes the strike, 1-1. Edgardo Alfonzo has a 6-game hit streak. 0 for 2 tonight, has popped out twice. Started the day 8th in average, 3rd in runs, 3rd in hits. He and John Olerud lead the Mets ball club averages with runners in scoring position. They did last year, and he and John Olerud are doing that again this year. Olerud's at 308 right now, while Edgardo Alfonso's at 314. 1-2 delivery. To get him to chase one, he won't do that often. 2-2.
Gary, you can see why Almanzar might be tough on righties with that slinging fastball and slider that he throws, and he falls off heavily towards first base. So quite an uninviting target for a right-handed hitter. All arms and legs, and all of a sudden here comes the ball on the outside edge.
Looked over to third base. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and that'll be fouled off. Edgardo Alfonzo holding that count at 2-2. New York Mets have won each of their last 7 road series. It is the longest streak in franchise history. And if they win this, well, it doesn't matter whether they win this. They can take this series. They're still going to have that record. And you see how tough they've been on the road. They've got a 38-23 mark on the road, 35-25 at home. Part of that, I'm sure, is because you have the likes of Al Leiter, Ricky Henderson, John Olerud, Alfonzo, veteran players. Oral Hershiser. Being on the road's not going to bother these kind of guys. They've been there. Inside and high. Zoe walked it. So Alfonzo had to work that one. Runners now at first and third, and that brings Olerud up. This can be one of those ugly games for the San Diego Padres, huh? Who's supposed you've seen a few this year?
Well, Gary, I live in this area, and I read about them all the time. And, boy, you know, the fans were so excited when they won 14 in a row, but it was a little bit like a house of cards. A lot of funny things were happening for the positive for the Padres, and they haven't happened lately. That's for doggone sure. And all the people in San Diego thought they might have a team that was going to be in the division race. And those of us that were in baseball were saying, well, let's just wait and see.
Long season again, huh? Tony Gwynn, very long. 1-0 count. 2 down. Olerud takes the pitch inside. And a 2-ball strike now in John Olerud. He has a single and scored in the first inning. Called out on strikes his last time up. 2 down. Runners at first and third. Ray Ordonez, lead runner. Alfonso at first. And the 2-0's up high to him. Mercy, you're not pitching around John Olerud, because that's the man who's on deck. Well, Carlos Almanzar's worked himself into a real hole. 3-0 count. Olerud will take the fastball. 3-1. Squirming going on the San Diego bench, and hoping. 3-1, and he's loaded the bases. 2 consecutive walks here in the 4th inning with 2 down. Here comes Piazza.
Last time he got a fastball in, and it was out.
And so long for now, as Lowell Thomas used to say.
Yeah.
So Piazza's got the bases loaded. This has been a year of the Grand Slam. Robin Ventura got one in San Francisco the other day. He's tied with Fernando Tatis for the National League lead. They both have 3. He already has 1 home run tonight, and he takes the pitch outside, ball 1. He has 9 career Grand Slam home runs. And a very solid average with the bases loaded. He's not far behind Robin Ventura. Ventura's got 13 career Grand Slams, tied with Harold Baines for the most by active players. 9 for Piazza. Ordonez had the single, then the walks to Alfonso at second and Olerud at first. Piazza thought about it, takes it. 2-1.
Here, if I'm Mike Piazza right now, I'm watching the way this guy throws, the way he falls off the mound. I don't think he can get inside of me. Everything is away. He falls towards first base. That pulls his arm. So everything should be on the outside edge.
A cleanup batter who's red hot has got a 3-1 count on him with the bases loaded. There's not enough gum in the world right now for Bruce Bochy. 3-1 delivery. Fouled it back. 3-2.
There it was, Gary. Outside corner. He's yet to throw a fastball inside. Mike just said, if he throws the ball inside, he's got me. But I'm looking outside corner.
3-2, 2 down, 3 on. Mets leading at 5-1. And hit towards the hole. Base hit Piazza. Ordonez scores. Alfonso scores. And Mike Piazza now has a 3 RBI ball game with a solo shot and a bases loaded single.
Gary, you just can't fall behind good hitters, and he's actually better than a good hitter. And in this situation, you've already told us how hot he is on this road trip, hitting over 500. You can't walk guys ahead of the best hitter on the ball club and expect to get away with it. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Well, I'm looking outside. It's up. Mike Piazza stays right on top of it. Short swing, compact. Drives it through the hole. 2 more runs score. And if anybody but Olerud was on first base, he might have scored. He was already rounding second when the ball went through.
Yeah, that's right. He would have had to cleared him. There's John Olerud, who stopped at third base. John not noted for foot speed, and he'll be the first to tell you that. We came up last year kidding John Olerud. He had like 3 triples at one point in a matter of 2 weeks. I said, John, what's the secret? He said, go back and look at him. Every one of them, the outfielder, fell down. Robin Ventura takes the pitch up high for a ball. Ventura's already had his shot, a home run, 3-run homer in the first inning, 28 on the year. He and Piazza now both have 28. Both are in the top 10 in home runs in the National League. And outside for a ball. There's no action in the bullpen. Carlos Almanzar is going to have to take one for the club. Oops. No sooner said than done.
Okay, all right, I heard him. I handle it.
2-0 count, 2 away.
Almanzar is making my arm hurt. The way he opens up that shoulder, I mean, he's not too far off a rotator injury. Watch how he opens up his left side.
Ow. Slinging it, isn't he?
Oh.
Will Kinane in the bullpen.
The problem when you open up like that, it's so hard to get your release point. I mean, it's different almost on every pitch.
They're loaded again. 3 walks in the inning.
Manager Bruce Bochy's not going to have any hair left. He's the way he keeps pulling it back like that.
Olerud had a walk. He's at third. Piazza the 2 RBI single down to second. Ventura the walk at first. He has had 4 straight 3-ball counts. Bases loaded again. And a strike taken by Darrell Hamilton. Mets trying to blow this open. 7-1. There are 2 down. Third out, very elusive. Fouled off by Hamilton. 2 grand slams in Darrell Hamilton's career.
Well, 30 pitches by Carlos this inning, and boy, he'd like to have a good one right here.
1 and 2.
Here, you can see that he doesn't really have anything to get a left-hand hitter out. When he opens up like that, the left-hand hitter sees it coming.
Before it's out of his hand.
As soon as it comes out, he sees it.
Reach for that a bit. 1 and 2 still.
In order to pitch like that, you have to have outstanding pitches. And usually a guy that throws like that will have a running fastball. It might sink a little bit, and a wicked slider. But right now, his release point is so inconsistent that he's having trouble getting anything over.
It appeared in only 29 Major League games and 5 pro seasons prior to this year. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery. Up high to him. And it is a 2 ball, 2 strike count on Darrell Hamilton. How about this jump that he made, Fred? He was in the Dominican Summer League for 3 seasons. The next year he went to Medicine Hat. That's a change in climate right there. 2-2, bases full. Hamilton towards first. Wally Joyner will go to the bag, and they get the out. Well, the Mets have come through in every inning through the first 4. They get 2 more here. 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position before that last out.
Time to get washed. Daddy's almost home. Honey, can you wash your feet? Hey, I hear Daddy.
Hey, guys. Hi.
Hey, honey.
Okay, let's eat.
Hey, where are the fries?
What, no fries? I can't believe Daddy forgot the fries. I'll go get some more. Some.
Hurry back. Fry breath.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
I'll be at the office.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my back.
Here, try this. You crazy, you'll blow his cover. Use sports cream. Get all the pain relief without the medicine odor.
Have a seat. Office.
Prepare to meet the soldiers of the future. Almost perfect. Almost human. Almost under our control.
The time of man has ended.
Now, one man must return.
Lou Devereaux's the original Universal Soldier.
To stop them.
This is not your lucky day.
Jump! Jean-Claude Van Damme. Universal Soldier, The Return. Rated R. Opens everywhere Friday.
This week, only at Radio Shack, Compact Creative Learning Series PCs have savings of up to $550 with mail-in rebates. This week, only at Radio Shack, these educational PCs with Intel Pentium 3 processors have special financing. And this week, only at Radio Shack, you can take one home and try out 38 software titles, then choose 12. Help your kids do better in school, so they'll do better in life. Only at Radio Shack.
Bill Pito in the studio, updating the Cubs and the Diamondbacks. It's 2-0 Arizona, but Henry Rodriguez. Oh, Henry! Number 24 on the year, solo shot. Cuts the deficit in half. 2-1. D-backs right now in the bottom of the sixth.
Welcome back, everybody, as the Mets have the 7-1 lead here in San Diego. Gary Thorne along with Fred Lynn and Tony Gwynn. Gwynn delivered the double and an RBI in his first at-bat. It'll be Nevins and Vanderwall to follow. Padres need runners now. 1 run, 2 hits off Masato Yoshii, who's had a long rest between innings. Every between innings so far. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Yoshii looking for his 8th win, has 8 losses. And Gwynn, right center, Hamilton, and 1 away in the 4th inning. Fred, you would know I was looking today about this ballpark. Quailcom has been noted as being one of the better pitchers' ballparks. Gives up home runs, but not a lot of double singles and extra base hits here.
Well, there's not a lot of triples in this ballpark unless you happen to hit one in the corner and it bounces around, a guy misplays it. But the gaps are so short that it's hard to hit a triple into the gaps. Infield is so short. The grass is really cut short. It's almost like artificial. I mean, the ball gets through here so quickly. I'm really surprised at that.
I was too. Yeah. In fact, the numbers I was looking at, and compared to other ballparks, only Dodger Stadium diminished run production as much in the National League as this ballpark over the last 3 years.
Well, maybe that's because the Padres got rid of all their offense, but
if you put this year in it.
Yeah.
But that was coming into this year.
That's really hard to believe. I mean, this is really, when I played here, before they moved the fences in, this was a real pitcher's ballpark. You know, those are temporary fences. The fence used to be that wall back there that you can see. That's about 20 feet further and about 20 feet taller. It was a real pitcher's park in those days. But I played here in 1990. I thought it was a great place to hit. And the ball flew out. Now, later on in the ball game, as you get later into the evening here, we are pretty close to the coast. And that marine layer does settle in a little bit. The ball gets a little heavy. The air gets a little heavy. The grass gets dewy, so maybe it holds it up a little bit.
Don't know, because that really surprised me when I saw those numbers. Nevin, big crank, fouls it back, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Nevin's hitting it .269, but of late, numbers have been much better than that for the third baseman. He grounded out, first time up in this ball game, off Masato Yoshii. Foul tip that one, held on to by Piazza. Third strikeout for Masato Yoshii, who has not walked a batter. Want to remind you, the road to Williamsport continues tomorrow on the Deuce. Bringing the Little League World Series Eastern and Western Regional Finals beginning at 8. The East, defending champions Toms River, New Jersey, takes on Middleborough, Mass. While in the West, Boise, Idaho faces Sacramento, California. For more, you can log on ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Telling you about that before the game. Toms River, New Jersey is the home of Mets starter Al Leiter. There's Al. And he actually pitched Little League ball at Toms River. That one bounced to second base. Good play, Alfonso. And Vanderwall is retired. 1, 2, 3 inning. Third inning in a row that Yoshii has shut San Diego down 1, 2, 3.
There's a crime being committed here. It's everyone thinking we are criminals. You have the power to help prevent crime. Get involved. Call 1-800-722-TEENS to find out what you can do.
It's how we're judged by what we do,
not how we look.
Wrangler jeans are the perfect jeans to wear when you're going out for a little seafood with your best buddy. Wrangler. Real comfortable you're training your dog. Or when your dog is training you. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
Well, here's your new town. Up ahead's the high school, Jimmy. 100% of the graduating class go on to Ivy League schools. And there's the baseball coach and the guidance counselor. Hi, Coach Torrey. Dr. Brothers. Hey, hi, Tom. And here's your new home.
Beautiful.
By the way, remember I said it was 2 acres? Actually, it's 3. They added 1 for you.
Oh, hey, neighbor. Just dropping off a little roast chicken with white truffle sauce. 2 minutes in the oven and bam, it's done.
Thanks, Emerald.
They put in a pool before they left?
We can take it out if it's a problem.
Oh. Hello. Hi, neighbor. Just brought you this potted viola.
Whoa. Calric.
If finding the right home were like this,
Can Jimmy come out and play catch?
you wouldn't need Century 21. Real estate for the real world. To find the right home in the neighborhood that's right for you, visit our website at century21.com.
Bill Pito in the studio. Phillies and the Cards. It's Mark McGwire's first at bat tonight. Homerless in his last 18 at bats, and there it goes. 2-run shot, number 48. One more than Sammy Sosa, who so far tonight is 0 for 3.
Bill, thanks very much. And New York Mets will be traveling back home after the game tonight, and Mark McGwire and the Cardinals will be at Shea Stadium for a weekend series against the Mets. Benny Agbayani down the right field line. Tony Gwynn, long run. That's a fair ball. One hopped off the wall. Agbayani heading for second. Here's the throw by Gwynn, not in time. And Agbayani leads it off with a double here in the 5th inning. The Mets continue to pound it out, getting the leadoff man on for the 4th time in 5 innings.
This is a mark of a good ball club. Even though they're ahead 7-1, they've got that killer instinct. They want more. Agbani hit a line drive off the left field wall. Now hits a line drive off the right field wall. Good patience by him. Just kind of took that outside fastball and went right with it.
He's got some power. Here's Ray Ordonez. Agbayani now with 2 doubles tonight and 13 on the year. Moving up around that 285 mark for an average on the season. In scoring position, Ray Ordonez has already added RBI, 2 for 2, 2 singles. 7-game hit streak for Ordonez. He's at 258 now. And he wraps that one into left field. Agbayani got to wait. Vander Wall up. And Cookie Rojas will hold the runner with the throw being cut off. So the Mets crank it up here. First 2-1 in the 5th inning. And he's going to have to go to the bullpen again.
We've seen that picture before.
It's not a replay.
No.
No.
It looks like a still shot.
Kind of been after every hitter the Mets have sent up tonight. 10 hits in the ball game for New York with a 7-1 lead. Will Kinane again, second time, up in the bullpen. Now, with runners at first and third, Yoshi has had 2 sacrifice bunts. Chops it. Runners coming. Agbayani. They'll go for 2 and get it. So Agbayani will score. He stayed back and got the double play. Masato Yoshi getting into the easy 6-4-3 double play, 2 down. Mets that tack on a run, though, and it's 8-1.
Ricky Henderson.
2 away. We'll bring up Ricky Henderson. Henderson will wait a long time here, allowing Yoshi to get back into the dugout and rest a minute. Henderson, a 1 for 3 in the ball game, scored in the first inning after he led the game off with a single. While the numbers offensively for the Padres have gone south, they have really been turned up by the Mets. One of the big problems we mentioned, that leadoff spot. New York last year ended up tied for 10th in on-base percentage. They are first this year. How about that for a base hit? Tony Gwynn over to get it off that mound. Henderson going for 2. Gwynn's throw there. He's history. A single and a putout for Tony Gwynn.
Am I the only person on the planet without a wireless phone? Okay, I know I have to get on the internet. Okay, but how do you get on that thing anyways? And if I have email, do I need voicemail? How much mail does the person actually need?
There's a Sprint store and over 5,000 Radio Shacks.
Okay, I can answer all that, but there's one thing I need you to do. What? Breathe.
It's not just about how close we are to where you live. It's about how close we can get to the way you live. Isn't that the point of contact?
Don't you worry, little guys. I'll find you a happy home. Hey, Bearman, before you take this frost brewed Coors Light, one of my little babies, I'll have to ask you a few questions. Huh? How often do you clean your home? 100 beer. Of course you do. Do you have a good job? I'm a surgeon, brain surgeon. I won't be happy till all these beers have a good home. Bearman, there's a roof over your head. Oh, skylight.
Today's Sports Century Classic Moment is brought to you by General Motors.
Tony Caniglaro was a classic Fenway Park hitter. I mean, right up on the plate, bam, hit the ball in the air, totally unafraid. That was part of his problem. He'd get up on the plate and dare pitchers to knock him down.
Beaten today by a Jack Hamilton fastball, Tony Caniglaro was knocked unconscious, suffering a severe concussion and crushed cheekbone. He'll miss 214 games. That was August 18, 1967.
We spin them. We freeze them. We push quality to the limit. And then we crash them. Now you can ride along. At the new Test Track, presented exclusively by General Motors. Open now at Walt Disney World Resort. Fasten your seatbelt.
The Mets have the 8-1 lead, but Tony Gwynn got the crowd up here in San Diego.
Watch this swing by Henderson as he pulls his hands in on the inside fastball. Kind of an excuse-me swing like he had before. As we mentioned before, Tony playing down the right field line. Nothing wrong with Tony's arm, accuracy, and strength, as Henderson finds out. Tony greeted by his teammates. Nice going, Tony. He still deal out in the outfield. You know, he can still play it.
And that's not easy, Fred, because that mound out there, he has to play balls coming off that pitching mound that butts out near the foul line down there. For years, I've wondered why at the major league level. See Ricky Henderson. He's had some problems with a hip pointer. Swung on and missed on that leg and may have hurt it going into second base again. He had to come out for about 5 or 6 games a week and a half ago. Bothered him all year, that hip. Now he's looking at his knee. 2-strike delivery to Wally Joyner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Ricky's 40 years old, and I don't know how many head-first slides he's had in his career, but it's a lot. And anytime you do that, I mean, it's wear and tear on your body, especially your knees.
Joyner fouls it back to keep going 1 and 2. Point I was making on the mound, at the major league level in this day and age in ballparks, the players earning what they're earning in investments. How you can have mounds still out there where players have to run over them is beyond me.
Well, you know why? This is a football stadium.
Yeah.
This is not built for baseball. It's built for football. And ergo, there's the mound, as you pointed out. And it's really incumbent upon the players to know that it's there, but it is dangerous. Not only is it dangerous, but the end of the stands is right there as well, so you could trip and then hit the corner of the stands, as you can see how it juts out there. But Tony's been here about 18, 19 years and
played a few down there.
Yeah, he's played that pretty well.
Wally Joyner's got a 3-2 count. Masato Yoshi's retired 11 in a row, so here comes the walk. Hey, I got one. Left field, Henderson. And Joyner is retired. 0 for 2 for Wally Joyner tonight.
Number 25.
She's really mowing him down right now. Davis coming up is flying out. Here we are, 5th inning. Only the 2nd time up for these hitters.
Hey, you look at Yoshi's numbers coming through the bottom of the 5th inning here, and boy, he's making some nice pitches, but you have to wonder what the level of how should I say that the commitment to winning that the Padres players have, some of them, especially some of the older ones. You know, when you get blown out like this day in and day out, it's tough to have that game face on every day.
Lose a lot of focus.
It's tough. It's really tough to keep your mental edge. Now, the young guys, they have a lot to play for. The older guys, they're trying to grind it.
Davis, the 0-2 delivery to him towards short. Ray Ordonez has moved over to second base. Makes the running throw, and there are 2 down. San Diego Padres got a run on a Gwynn double in the first inning. That came with 1 away. They have not had a batter on since. Tony Gwynn's at bat in the first. Yoshi has not walked anybody and has struck out 3 with a big lead. He's just letting the San Diego Padres make the outs.
Yeah, he's throwing strikes, and that's key. You know, when you have a ball club down like this, the worst thing you could do is start walking guys. Give them any kind of breath of fresh air.
Here's Gomez, the shortstop. Mets have only 1 complete game this year, and they got it on Sunday. They were the last team to get a complete game.
Just in time, too, to save from a dubious honor.
A dubious honor. That one hit in the air to center field. Hamilton. He's got it, and Gomez is retired. Another 1-2-3 inning. Sato Yoshi and the Mets in charge of this ball game, leading it 8-1.
Hey guys, if you have thinning hair, call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now, and we'll send you our new 40-page hair loss update. It covers the most up-to-date information on hair growing drugs and methods, as well as Hair Club's most natural-looking, non-surgical hair development to date.
You don't feel any difference in this hair, this hair.
Now that I am a Hair Club client, I would never go back. Call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now and get your free booklet. That's 1-800-HAIR-CLUB.
For all of you who believe baseball is more than a game, presenting the first USA Baseball Titanium MasterCard with a 2.9% APR on purchases and balance transfers for 6 months when you transfer balances and 12.99% after that. No annual fee and a credit line up to $100,000. Think what it could bring you. 2 tickets, $28. 2 hot dogs, 2 popcorns, 2 sodas, $18. 1 autographed baseball, $45. Real conversation with 11-year-old son, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Call now for the first USA Baseball MasterCard, 1-800-756-0517. With a low introductory APR, you can save hundreds of dollars by transferring balances from higher interest rate credit cards. Plus, you'll save even more with no annual fee. Call now and get a great card for the great American pastime, the first USA Baseball Titanium MasterCard.
The top seniors on tour meet to tee off for the Bank Boston Classic, Friday at 1 on ESPN.
The physical problem, whatever it might be, for Ricky Henderson continued to be a concern between innings. Trainer and Bobby Valentine looking at it.
You can see Ricky Henderson with his patented head-first slide, and his left hand catches the shoe, the right foot of Chris Gomez. Now, he was trying to slide away from the tag, and he inadvertently hit his left hand on Gomez's leg. And he wasn't expecting it, so he wasn't able to brace himself for it, and he probably jammed his fingers. And in an 8-1 ball game, no sense keeping him in there.
Probably be out of there. Edgardo Alfonso leads it off for the Mets. Olerud and Piazza to follow. Will Kinane, the new pitcher.
Well, Kinane is, you can see his ERA is pretty high. What he does well is he comes in and throws strikes. If there's runners in scoring position, he gets them out. It's the when he comes in this situation, there's nobody on. This is when he gets touched up. It's not supposed to work that way, Will. You're supposed to give up the other guy's runs, not your own. But you know the credo?
For a reliever.
Yeah, that's right, the credo of a reliever.
Damian Jackson comes in, double switch at short. He's hitting ninth. Alfonso goes the other way. Tony Gwynn on a busy night. Gwynn got his third assist throwing out Ricky Henderson, and he makes the play there as Alfonso is retired. 1 out here in the 6th inning. Alfonso's 0 for 3. Take a look at our head and shoulders in-game box for the New York Mets. Everybody virtually has been involved here. Hamilton, Alfonso haven't had hits, but they've got runs, home runs. Robert Ventura, 3-run shot, 3 RBI night so far for Piazza. Lineup is hot. John Olerud. Olerud, a single in 2 at-bats, also has drawn a new Met record walk, number 98. He is now #1 in the Mets record books for most free passes in a season, passing Strawberry and Keith Hernandez. And not hurting his on-base percentage. Will Canane with the 0-2 delivery. The first base Wally Joyner, and it is a foul ball.
Gary, you talked about the importance of the leadoff hitter on the ball club and Ricky Henderson, what he's meant to this ball club. You can have the best 3, 4, 5 hitters in the game, but if your 1-2 guys aren't getting on base for those guys, it's a long year. I mean, you look at the California or the Anaheim Angels, they're 3, 4, 5 guys, pretty good players, pretty good hitters, but they have no 1-2 guys. So those guys are struggling to drive in runs.
Got to do it all by yourself with a long ball, huh?
Yeah, and then you feel pressure every time you see a runner in scoring position. Well, I got to get him in now because it might be a week before I see him out there again. But not so on this ball club.
No. No, they've got, as we said, Edgardo Alfonso hits second most of the time, is third in the league in runs coming into the game, and he scored a run here. Ricky Henderson has scored a run in this ball game, and Henderson's right up there in runs scored among the leaders in the league. With these Met hitters driving them home, he scored 67 times. There's Alfonso. Ricky's gone to the dressing room, by the way, Ricky Henderson. Tapped foul just outside of third base by Olerud. 1 ball, 2 strike count on the Mets first baseman.
Hey, look at the on-base percentage of the Mets in general. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, these guys, not only do they hit well, but they walk. That's so important.
And the left on-base number is one of those that's a bit untrue for the Mets. Even though they've left the second most on, in their case, what it means is they've had so many on base. Because they are up among the leaders in runs scored. They are third in runs. So they just have had a ton of people on base.
Well, those two statistics are usually synonymous. I mean, when you have a lot of guys on, yeah, you're going to score a lot. Leave them out there too. Yeah. I mean, so you're going to be high in both categories.
They are. 3 ball, 2 strike count to John Olerud, and he's on again with a walk. So Canane surrenders the free pass, 2 for Olerud in the ball game. Think how much Mike Piazza loves this. Hitting in that cleanup spot with not only the leadoff hitters, Henderson and Alfonso, getting on, but the number 3 hitter leads the ball club in walks. It's pretty amazing.
He never sees a pitcher that is not in the stretch.
Yeah.
He's always in a stretch.
Piazza with 1 on. Already 3 RBIs in the ball game as he delivered his 28th home run in the third, a solo homer, and a bases loaded 2 RBI single in the 4th inning. And a road trip that just won't quit for him. 1-0 count. Canane's fastball is away, 2-0. This road trip now for Mike Piazza in the month of August. He's batting .339. 7 home runs this month. Fastball taken. He's taking a lot more pitches this year than in previous years.
Well, that's a mark of a good hitter right there. You know, he figures 2-0. I'm going to take one. You know, I'm in the driver's seat. I want to see what kind of fastball he has and where he puts it.
That one to short. Bobbled a bit. Relay to Jackson, not foul. So good. Jackson had a little trouble getting it out. Nguyen made the nice pivot, though, and the man who also leads the league in hitting into double plays, Piazza, does it again.
On any road, in any kind of weather, you can find yourself out of luck with a flat tire. But not with this tire. Even with no air pressure, you keep driving to safety. Goodyear Aqua Steel Run Flat. It could be the difference between finding yourself out of luck or finding the safe way home. Aqua Steel Run Flat, only from Goodyear.
Now there's a beer with that on it.
Sink your teeth into a frost-brewed Coors Light.
The dog ate my homework. I bet I need glasses. The teacher doesn't like me.
Hey, it's your gene pool.
For better report cards, not excuses, only Radio Shack has this uniquely educational compact. And now you can try out 38 software programs at home and choose 12. Plus, this week, save up to $550 with mail-in rebates. The Compact Creative Learning Series with Intel Pentium 3 processors. Only at Radio Shack.
Bill Pito in the studio for the former Met Todd Hundley, hitting just .216 this year in his first year as a Dodger, but he's got 2 home runs tonight. He's now got 19 on the year. This is his second homer in the contest against Florida. All Dodgers right now as they lead Marlins 6-0, bottom 7.
So Todd Hundley, after that disastrous first half, trying to get some numbers up there in the second half of the season for the Dodgers. 8-1, New York leading it here. Masato Yoshi throwing a 2-hitter right now. Matt Franco comes into the game. He'll play in left field. He's the Mets' premier pinch hitter. Also gets time in the outfield and at first base. He's even pitched a couple of games this year in blowouts. Bobby Valentine taking Ricky Henderson out of there with what looked like a hand injury of some sort. Masato Yoshi hasn't walked anybody. Has struck out 3, 1-run, 2 hits. It all came in the first inning. A 1-out single by Eric Owens. He stole second and scored on Tony Gwynn's double. That's it. That's all the offense the Padres have been able to mount so far. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the strike taken by Damian Jackson, who's sitting in the number 9 spot. His first time up came on in the double switch. Yoshi just trying to throw strikes here. Misses. And 1-1. Fred talking about Damian Jackson earlier. One of the young players they're taking a look at here at the end of this year. 3 for 27 is all he's done against the Mets this year. Outside. 2-1.
Well, when Chris Gomez went down and was on the DL, Damian Jackson stepped in and did a really fine job for them. In fact, they thought he was going to take Gomez's job and that Gomez wasn't going to be able to get it back. But he fell off the plate a little bit. And Gomez, it was his job before he went on the DL, and this should be his job when he comes back. And now they'll battle for it in spring training of next year, I'm sure.
Everything they do at the end of this year noted by manager and people up front. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, you really get an idea who wants to play when you get to this situation on a Padre ball club like this.
Yoshi's 2-2 delivery. Left field, deep. Matt Franco at the wall. Franco back and makes the catch. And now saying Ricky Henderson's injury is to the ring finger.
There you see it again. Watch his left hand on the right foot of Chris Gomez, and he jams it in there. And if it's his left hand, throws right-handed, well, he throws left-handed, so that may bother him. It probably won't bother him hitting too much if it's just jammed. Hopefully it's not broken. I'm sure they're going to x-ray it.
So the Mets now with 2 players with hand injuries, both outfielders in Cedeno and Henderson. Cedeno is due back, that sprained right wrist on Friday. David Newham. Newham 0 for 2 is lined out, grounded out. Robin Ventura step on the grass at third base. John Olerud. Yoshi covering. 2 down. During some of the timeouts in this ballgame, Fred and I have been talking about the best infield in baseball ever, because this New York Met infield is being compared to whomever that might be. They've got the Gold Gloves in Ordonez and Alfonso already at short. At third, rather. Robin Ventura's got the Gold Gloves. Alfonso playing like he deserves one at second, and John Olerud, as we said, probably one of the most underrated defensive first basemen in the game. Has there been one better? Their fielding percentage leading the majors, and not many errors. We checked the record, Fred, and I'm just amazed. The club fielding record is the American League Baltimore Orioles last year at .987, the best fielding percentage for any team ever.
Yeah, that had me shocked. Now, I would have had Baltimore, but I would have had it with Brooksy Robinson Mark Belanger, Bobby Grich, and Boog Powell.
Yeah, I would have thought that, too.
I probably would have thrown those guys in there, but not the lineup that...
that would have been Ripken, Bordick, Roberto Alomar, and
Rafael
Palmeiro at first base. Here's the 1-1 delivery. That one down the right field line is a fair ball into the corner. Owens on his way to second. Chase down in that bullpen. He's on his way to third. Ball still in play. He may make a turn. They'll hold him up. Benny Agbayani had to go down into the bullpen. It's all ball alive. When it rolls into that corner, players over there have to get out of the way. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Well, Gary, we talked about it earlier. The only way to get a triple in this ballpark is if one rattles around into the bullpen. The ball is in play here. You got to dig it out. Oh, it almost went into a bag of goodies. Oh, can't find it. Where is it? Up there it is. That's when your teammate's got to help you out. Hey, it's over there. It's in the bag of pizza.
It went in the bag and came back out. Now, I'm assuming if that stays in the bag, the ball is dead at that point.
Well, I'll tell you what, you'd have to prove it to the umpire that it was in there because it's live down there.
Oh, that was funny. Benny Agbayani didn't think so. Here's Tony Gwynn, another RBI chance. That is the first hit, first base runner for the Padres after 16 in a row had been retired. And Yoshi now with 2 down will try and get Gwynn out of there. 2 triples on the season for Eric Owens, who's at third. Gwynn has the RBI, came in the first inning. This one, Edgardo Alfonso's got a beat on, and that will do it. So we've completed 6, no runs, a base hit, runner left on in scoring position here in the 6th. The Mets lead it 8-1.
I'm serving a party of 20 whether this pain goes away or not. So I took Advil liquid gels. See, they're stronger and faster than extra strength Tylenol on tough pain. It's the only pain reliever with liquid inside. Advil liquid gel. Stronger and faster.
Has this ever happened to you? You're making Aunt Sarah's lasagna, but you forgot her special ingredient. You need her phone number, but you don't even remember her area code. So do the smart thing. Dial 1010-9000 and tell our helpful operators who you want.
Sarah Dobson in Oakland.
They'll find the number and do something you're going to love. They'll dial it for you with no connection charge.
Sure, dial it for me. My hands are kind of full right now.
For directory assistance anywhere in America, dial 1010-9000.
His grace on the field can't be matched. His contributions can't be missed. His homers travel 450 feet. His support goes even farther. Major League Baseball Charities has teamed with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Together, we're giving kids a world of opportunities. He has the drive to be a big leaguer, but hasn't forgotten what it takes to be a little kid.
We go to the 7th inning. The Mets have the 8-1 lead. So Tony Gwynn is going to get a rest. Ruben Rivera comes into the ball game in center, and Eric Owens, who was playing there, makes the move over to right field, and Tony Gwynn out of the ball game. Tony Gwynn doing the last at bat, 1 for 3 in the game with the RBI in the first inning. Robin Ventura. Will Kinane on the mound. Robin Ventura, home run number 28 in the first, has drawn a walk and has struck out. He has now reached the century mark in RBIs, 100, with that 3-run shot he got. Ventura has now hit safely in 27 of the last 30 games, over .411 during that time, and deep to right field, at the wall, and off the scoreboard. Into second base, Ventura. He'll beat the throw, and he's got that a double? Almost another home run. Another double for the Mets. And this one comes leading off the 7th inning.
Number 18, center fielder, Darrell Hamilton.
Harry, you know what I've noticed in this ball game is that every time a Padre pitcher makes a mistake out over the plate, the Mets aren't missing it. Not one batter is missing it. Every one of them is just peppering the ball. If they see a high fastball or anything that's up in the zone, they're just killing it.
Robin Ventura now with that 2-for-3 ball game is hitting about .411, and since July 18 it is the highest average of any National League player. 0-1 and a strike taken. Darrell Hamilton at the plate. Hamilton is lined out, walked and grounded out. He's got an RBI opportunity with Robin Ventura at second. Ventura is not a fast runner. Up the middle. Got to play it first. Thrown off the side and into the seats. Robin Ventura had gone back towards second base on that ground ball to Jackson. Tough play for Jackson, number 1, to get to it, and then he just threw it away.
This is the inexperience of Damian Jackson. This is a tough play with a speedy runner. You have to know who's running here. This is when you just take the ball and you put it in your pocket right there. There's no chance. You see the runner's already been out of the bag. It's a nice play to field the ball, but you have no chance to make the play. Just hang on to it. And that just comes with experience.
Robin Ventura comes around to score. It is a single and an error. There's no RBI there. The single credited to Darrell Hamilton, a very fast runner. He goes down to second on the error, and Ventura scores on the error. Now Benny Agbayani, who has 2 doubles and 3 at-bats. And this is one of those nights for the San Diego Padres. Mets leading at 9-1. They do have that juggler instinct. They are not going to stop pounding away. Ball club's got a chance to be a game up over Atlanta as the Braves were beaten 4-1 today by Colorado. 1-1 delivery, swung on and missed. Atlanta lost their bullpen lost the game in a Larry Walker home run in the 9th inning. Apparently Millwood had retired like 19 in a row for Atlanta in that game. And the bullpen couldn't keep it. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Outside corner strike called. So Calnane will get the strikeout. Down the stretch, the Mets have an interesting schedule. 21 at home, 18 on the road, 13 against teams that are below 5, and 12 against the East, including those 6 games against the Braves, 3-3. They also have a series against Philadelphia. Because of the way the schedule is set up now, the Mets do not go back into division play until the middle of September. It's been a long time since they have faced division opponents.
Well, that's okay if you're in first place, but if you have to make up ground, you need to play those teams inside the division. But for that graphic we saw there, the important games are down at the bottom, and they play Atlanta. I mean, when you go head-to-head against your nearest competitor, your rival, that's when you have to win. Plain and simple.
They had to do that last year, the Mets did, and didn't against Atlanta when they were battling for a wild card spot. 1-1 delivery. That one's down low. The Atlanta Braves have the same thing. They do not go back into division play until the middle of next month. They've got 15 against the East. They have the 16 against sub-500. With a couple more games to be played at home. And Ray Ordonez fouls it off.
Well, I don't see any clear-cut advantage for any of these ball clubs by the schedule, that's for sure. It's going to go down to head-to-head unless one team can eke out a lead 3 or 4 games going into, as we see the NL East right now. Braves a half game out. There'll probably be a game out after tonight's game. If you want to be in striking distance of your opponent, when you come head-to-head. You don't want to be 4 or 5 games out either way. But the way these two teams are playing right now, it looks like it's going to be a 1 or 2 game swing either way going into those series.
The Atlanta Braves have won 4 of the 6 games they've played against the Mets so far this year. But a number of those were played earlier in the year when the Mets were not playing good baseball. They did not have a good start. Went through one slump, then picked it up, and there's been a real drive for him. Darrell Hamilton on at second base, 1 down, 7th inning. Mets have a run in, the only inning they haven't scored in so far, the 6th. They pushed one in here. Ray Ordonez, 3 for 3, 3 singles and an RBI, and he has scored a run. You see the head-to-head action, Braves and Mets, the remaining games late in the year, final 2.5 weeks of the season. And the slider by Canane misses outside.
You know what it's going to boil down to is if the Mets pitching staff can hold the Atlanta hitters down to where they should be, and plus if the Atlanta staff can slow down this Met offense.
Yeah. We showed you at the top the Mets starters have been the question mark. They are 11th. The starting staff is an ERA in the National League. Yoshi tonight has had the big lead to work with. He's given up only 3 hits, but bear in mind against the probably worst offensive team, numbers-wise at least, in the National League in the Padres. Ray Ordonez down at first base. Fouled off by Yoshi, who's had a couple of sacrifices and hit into a double play. Hamilton had a single, second on the error, and Ray Ordonez the first on the walk. Yoshi 7 hits and 35 at-bats. That one taken away in a 1-ball, 2-strike count with 1 down. The other crazy thing about the schedule for both Atlanta and the Mets, have to have the Mets one in front of you, is that they've got weird West Coast trips. Mets have to go to Arizona and then Houston. And then they got a trip where they go to L.A. for 4 and Colorado for 3. Yoshi down to third, Nevin second, Newman, they turn 2. So Yoshi's hit into 2 double plays in the game. The Mets nevertheless have added another run. 7th inning stretch time, 9-1 New York.
With Transamerica Investments and Insurance Products, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to be financially successful. The people in the pyramid working for you. At Transamerica, we have insurance products and investments for retirement that'll help you plan for your next career. The people in the pyramid working for you.
This is our dream house.
Some dream.
Come back down this way.
Took him 2 years to choose the building materials.
It's like a canary, isn't it?
He's obsessed.
I'm thorough. I have this whole card catalog system. Did an interview process on the crew. Some information. So we're thinking about going turn of the century in here. That sound good? I like to know what's under the carpet. You know, what's over my head. I chose certainty. I really trust their products.
It's exactly what the builder said 2 years ago.
Are you going to put this up now? Can I help? JJ?
Nothing adds to the beauty of a home like hardwood floors. Let's go inside and check it out.
Paul, this is a beautiful floor. It's parquet, Norm, same as the gardens. I'm marking the uneven seams between the tiles.
By marking those, you know where the dead spots are when you dribble.
Exactly, Norm.
By doing that and wearing these Nike Airjet up-tempos, which you can only get at Foot Locker, your opponents don't stand a chance.
Right again.
Well, that's all we have for the House of Hoops.
Nice job.
Well, how fresh is Domino's Pizza? Well, check it out, Bobble. It's so fresh when you call our line. Because it's fresh like this. Lots of good toppings. Yeah, we make it fresh like this. And the Domino's lead way back. Keeps it hot, until you go out. Oh, yeah, Domino's. Warm golden brown crust, toppings melted into chewy cheese. Call now and order your favorite Domino's pizza. Domino's delivering 1 million smiles a day, baby.
New York Mets leading the San Diego Padres 9-1, 7th inning stretch time. Let's take a look at the head and shoulders in-game box for the Padres. Not much there for them. Owens 2 for 3 with a run scored. Tony Gwynn out of the ball game now, picked up the RBI. Otherwise, a lot of offers. Only 3 hits on the board. They do get long. A ball club that won 54 games here at home last year. They're going to go 34-27 at home after this one. So for the youngsters, like Davis, let's show them what you got. Time of year. For Bruce Bochy, just see it on through. From the World Series to this. Boy, that's the second half you don't want to see, Fred.
Well, the first half had that 14-game win streak in it, you know, right near the break. And then the second half, they had a couple more injuries, and then the house of cards fell apart. But, you know, no one really expected the Padres to do that much this year anyway. It was kind of a rebuilding year, and then all of a sudden they won 14 straight, and there were 2 games out of first place, and they said, hey, wait a minute, what's happening?
That one taken away by Phil Nevin. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Nevin has gone 0 for 2 in the ball game. 1 for 7 in the series. Left field, Matt Franco. And Franco has got it. Why do the Mets have a chance to go into first place? Bill Peto's going to tell you. Bill.
All right, Gary, the Braves had the bases loaded at the top of the 9th. The 1-1 game didn't score, and then the Rockies come up, bottom 9, still tied at 1. 2 on for Larry Walker. And he rocked John Rocker, his second homer of the game, 32nd of the year. And the Rockies beat Atlanta on that home run, 4-1.
Big blow right there. And that was the second home run of the game for Larry Walker. So the Mets with a half-game lead as a result. And they win here. That becomes a full-game lead. These teams have been matching wins and losses for the last couple of weeks.
That's a pretty impressive feat in that home run off Rocker. I mean, he gets the ball up there right now with a nasty slider. That's tough going for a left-handed hitter.
Larry Walker's seen his average drop down a bit lately, but he boosted it today with those home runs. Sato Yoshi, 1 run, 3 hits off him, while the Mets have got 9 runs and 13 hits off 3 Padre pitchers. Off-speed delivery in there for a strike. John Vanderwall making the start in left field, 0 for 2 against Yoshi. Yoshi hasn't won a ball game, as we said, in his last 5 starts with 1 loss and 4 no decisions. Will he be given a chance at a complete game? Maybe. Just missed outside with that. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Kenny Rogers, the only complete game. We were talking about it earlier. He got it against San Francisco as he went 9 innings. Had he not done it, the Mets would have equaled the longest mark in Major League history without a complete game. The record's 140 set by Anaheim this year. The Mets were at game 100, had gotten to 139. Even Orel doesn't have a complete game yet. But boy, is he pitching well.
Yeah, but Orel Hershiser is in his 40s. You know,
Yeah,
he's
that's
not
right.
supposed to complete them. He's
5
supposed to
innings
go.
and give me some help.
Well, you know, he'd get in that 6th or 7th inning for you. He's going to give you some innings. They don't call him the Bulldog for nothing. But he's not supposed to complete them. But the young guys, you know, every once in a while, he might run into 9 innings.
Vanderwall retired, soft liner. He's become almost a player coach, Fred, with the New York Mets this season. He's a constant for them, especially with the younger pitchers.
Well, that's why managers and general managers, they like to have some veteran players that have been around, maybe been in a couple World Series and maybe won a couple World Series rings, to help some of the guys through the tough times, especially on road trips when you go into a hostile environment or when the club isn't doing as well as maybe they should be, like the Mets weren't doing earlier in the season. Now everything's hunky-dory and everybody's, you know, very happy with the way things are going on the field. But when times are tough, that's when you rely on the veteran players for leadership.
Wally Joyner with 2 down, nobody on. Joyner's had the 0 for 2 on a fly ball out and ground ball out. Octavio Dotel had that no-hitter that he lost the other night in the 7th inning when Nevins delivered a 3-run homer after Dotel walked 2. It was the first hit off him. And he came out of the ball game and literally was crying on the bench. When we asked about him after afterwards we asked him why. It wasn't because he lost the no-hitter. It was because he lost the lead in the game. And who was the guy there right beside him? Oral Hershiser. Put his arm around him and walked him out of the dugout. That pitch is inside to Wally Joyner. And just was there as a shoulder and as a boost when it was needed for the young rookie pitcher.
Yeah, that's what you need. When you see a player that emotional about a situation in the game, you have to talk to him. You have to say something, because you can't let that go. You can't let that fester with a young player like that and let him say, geez, I made one bad pitch or two bad pitches and my whole night's been ruined and I lost the game for the club. I lost it. Well, you didn't lose it.
And they didn't lose it.
No, we didn't give you much help.
They came back and won it in 10 innings. Wally Joyner was the walk. This is what we were talking about on Monday with Dotel. A no-hitter had walked two, and Nevin delivered that home run. Yoshi tonight has given up 3 hits, but only 1 run. And has given up the first walk of the ball game for him. That's how much control he's had with 3 strikeouts. Comes with 2 down. And Ben Davis up. Davis 0 for 2 off Yoshi tonight. And that one fouled off down the line. A 2-strike count on Davis. Dave Magadan waiting to pinch hit in the on-deck circle. Carlos Reyes has been up in the bullpen for the Padres. They want to get Will Kinane out of there for working a couple of innings. 0-2 delivery by Masato Yoshi. Fastball misses inside. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Yoshi's not going to overpower anybody. We were talking about earlier, but when you get the lead for a pitcher like him, it's great.
What he's done is spotted his fastball very well, mixed in his slider, and he's thrown a lot of good splitters tonight. Of course, an 8-run cushion helps.
Yep. Early, too.
Yeah, it helps you relax. You don't have to be pinpoint all the time. When you get that kind of lead, first pitch fastball, here it is, strike. Put it in play. But he's doing his breaking stuff over as well early in the count. So he's not just throwing out there, he's still pitching.
Ventura and Piazza have added the long ball to help him out. He hasn't had a win since July 18. Slapper down to third. Robin Ventura on the backhand. Long throw to Olerud. And that will do it. Davis is retired on the ground ball up. No runs, no hits. Base runner left on. Mets 9 and the Padres 1.
Hey guys, if you have thinning hair, call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now, and we'll send you our new 40-page hair loss update. It covers the most up-to-date information on hair growing drugs and methods, as well as Hair Club's most natural-looking, non-surgical hair development to date.
You don't feel any difference in this hair, this hair.
Now that I am a Hair Club client, I would never go back.
Call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now and get your free booklet. That's 1-800-HAIR-CLUB.
To unlock your body's potential, there is nothing better than Soloflex. All the standard strength training exercises, each one correct in form and balance. The original, still unequaled, Soloflex.
I invested in the Associate's Degree program at ITT Technical Institute for a career in computer-aided drafting. The skills I received at ITT Tech gave me the basics I needed to succeed. I've had 3 promotions in just 3 years, and I'm now a project engineer. The name ITT Tech was a big factor. I really love my position and the responsibilities that go with it. Thanks, ITT.
ITT Technical Institute, 1-800-942-0099.
Continuing our countdown to number 1, he was the definition of grace and elegance, both on the field and off. The Yankee Clipper, Sports Century athlete number 22, Joe DiMaggio. Friday at 10:30 on ESPN, presented by General Motors.
Carlos Reyes, veteran, 30 years old, comes on in relief. He'll be the fourth pitcher. Canane worked a couple. Gave up a run on 2 hits, walked 2, and struck out 1.
Here you see the numbers on Carlos Reyes. Pitched really well the first half of the season. Been roughed up lately. Been walking a few guys in tough situations. He's allowed 11 hits and 9 runs in his last 7 innings. So that 3.34 ERA was a lot lower. But like a lot of the Padres relievers of late, been roughed up, and that's pretty much the synopsis for this ball club. If you get past their starters and you don't get to Trevor Hoffman, the middle relief has been getting lit up lately.
Double switch brings Dave Magadan in at first base, and Matt Franco will be leading it off. That's with a 9-1 lead, out hitting the Padres 13-3 as we go to the 8th inning. Franco came on for Ricky Henderson. Masato Yoshi's numbers.
You see that 93 pitches. He's well on his way to a possible complete game.
Oh. Grounded down. No, base hit. I was going to say, I thought Magadan had a play on that. Instead, it's a single. So Matt Franco kicks it off, leading it off here in the 8th inning with a base hit. Boy, the Mets have taken advantage of the leadoff man in this ballgame. You get the leadoff man now, and your chances of scoring multiply considerably. Luis Lopez will come on for Edgardo Alfonzo, so Alfonzo will have his 6-game hit streak ended here. Lopez, utility player for the Mets. Alfonzo out of there. Bobby Valentine is trying to give a little rest when he can to his regulars.
Not only that, but you get your guys on the bench into the game. It's not so important to give a guy an inning or so rest. You know, mentally, yeah, that helps, but it really helps the guys that are sitting on the pine all the time. Get them some action, get them some at-bats, get them some playing time, because sooner or later you're going to need those guys. And you want them to have some game-time experience before you put them in under fire, especially in New York.
And Bobby Valentine has done a good job of that, getting people in, and he's had to deal with a lot in that regard because he's had 4 or 5 outfielders at times trying to work him in and out of the lineup. He's got Bobby Bonilla coming back when the rosters expand. Sean Dunston added, sitting on the right with a hat on, of course, at the trading deadline. Sean's really enjoying being in New York and playing with the Mets right now, and he'll be a bench role, and he'll start some games in the outfield. He's turned into a real fine outfielder after all those years at short.
Well, we know he has a good arm.
He does have that. He's got a cannon still. Luis Lopez takes the pitch outside from Carlos Reyes, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count with a runner on at first base here in the 8th inning. Lopez, second, short. Can play both and play it well. Switch hitter, 190 right-handed, 230 left-handed. Had only 95 at-bats. Ball player many feel on some clubs would be a starter in the middle infield. Shallow left. Off Lopez's bat, Vanderwall there put it away, and that will retire Lopez. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated, another fine word, without express written consent. With Fred Lynn, I'm Gary Thorne. Nice to have you with us here. Second half of our doubleheader. Mets started early. They scored in every inning but the 6th. Got 3 in the first. Now have a 9-1 lead. And that one taken by Olerud down low. I think Piazza's going to get a break, and Todd Pratt has come out in the on-deck circle, a pinch hit for the Met catcher. Pratt, the backup catcher. John Olerud tonight has had a single and 2 walks. He's also been called out on strikes. There's Piazza getting ready to head to the plane and back to New York. He breaking in a glove?
Yeah, he's got a backup gamer there, and exactly what he's doing. Probably got a couple balls in there. Can tuck it away in a trunk. Say, do not disturb.
Like fine wine aging.
That's exactly right, boy. I tell you what, I hated to take or have my glove out of my sight. It's a prized possession, and you feel naked when you go out on the field if you don't have your right glove. It's part of you.
You believe John Olerud's got another walk? 3 consecutive walks for John Olerud in this ballgame tonight. Every one he adds to the total will give him a new record for the New York Mets in walks in a single season. One of the quietest human beings put on this earth and one of the nicest guys.
What a perfect fit for New York. I mean, here's a guy, he doesn't care what's going on. He just goes out and does his job. Doesn't say boo. He just has a good time playing baseball.
Yeah, great teammate. Here is Todd Pratt. When Piazza was out earlier this season with an injury, Pratt came on and, as he has done in the past couple of years, more than amply filled in. He's a good catcher, defensive catcher, and a good hitter. A 284 number on the year. He'll swing from his heels. 3 home runs, 18 RBIs. He's somebody who probably, if he played every day, again, the scouting reports would catch up to him because he's got such a big cut. But when he doesn't play a lot and pitchers haven't seen him and don't remember and make mistakes, he'll hit it. 1-1. And Reyes misses on that one. A 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, for years, Carlton Fisk had a backup Bob Montgomery, and you know, Pudge played 150, 155 games, and Bob's credo was, you know, the more I play, the more my value goes down. So Pudge, play as many as you can.
Don't get discovered, right?
That's right.
Runners at first and second with 1 out. Monty moved into the broadcast booth. I had the pleasure of working with him doing some Red Sox games a couple of years ago. Oh, great guy. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Todd Pratt. Mets trying to add to a 9-1 lead. And Pratt with that whirly bird cut is a strikeout victim.
Another little note on Bob Montgomery. He was the last player in the big leagues to hit with a liner in your hat. Last guy to do it.
That's not even allowed anymore, right?
No, that was the grandfather clause. I mean, if you came in that way, you could go out that way, but you couldn't start that way now.
Yeah. Robin Ventura going to add to his RBI totals tonight. 2 on, down. Ventura, 3-run homer in the first inning, double in the 7th inning, and scored. Reyes trying to get out of the inning without the Mets scoring. Would be just the 2nd time in the ball game that will have happened if he can do it. Highest batting average in the National League since July 18. Hitting a .414 right now. Pops that one up in the infield. Nevin and Ventura is retired. So they do not put one across here. No runs, a base hit. Some of the Met regulars trying to pack it in.
Hi, Sean, remember? How you doing? Good. Good. Being good is good.
Sprint, we know it's not just about the clarity of every call.
So what you're saying is you want to go out.
It's about hearing what goes unspoken. Isn't that the point of contact?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go out.
Every one of Circuit City's camcorders comes with a guaranteed low price. Something extra. Real customer service.
If you have any questions, I'm here to help. We want you to have the best shopping experience ever.
Right now at Circuit City, all camcorders are on sale. Like this JVC compact VHS camcorder with image stabilization for jitter-free recording. Now only $329.99. For knowledgeable advice and guaranteed low prices on your new camcorder, stop by Circuit City today.
Hey, what if I wanted to paint the sky? Where do I find the blues? Or the reds, or golds, or silver grays, or some other sky-like hues? And hey, Van Gogh is yellow, how you brighten up your day? I need to travel through the stars, can you paint out the way? Say hello, where to go, whatever you want to know. Ask how, ask now, ask Sherwin-Williams.
ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball is brought to you by Circuit City. Answers in every department, low prices all over the store. And by your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Ask how, ask now, ask Sherwin-Williams.
Mets on the verge of taking this series got the 9-1 lead. Bottom half of the 8th inning for the Padres. Luis Lopez stays in at second for Edgardo Alfonso. Todd Pratt in doing the catching for Piazza. Sato Yoshi still out there on the mound, and he faces Dave Magadan, who will be getting his first at bat. Former Met Dave Magadan. Seems like eons ago now for Magadan. He's always been one of the game's good contact hitters.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that, you know, if he played every day, he'd probably wear him down. But, boy, he's a valuable player off the bench, can play a couple of positions, slaps the ball around, good pinch hitter. Always a good average man, not much for power.
I can do him for the game. He's got 12 more at-bats, and he'll have his option come into effect for next year with the San Diego Padres. He's praying for those at-bats.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been on some clubs where you wouldn't get them.
Deep to center field. Hamilton way back. Reaching out. Can't get it. He slides into the wall. The ball slides off it. And Dave Magadan's on his way to third base with a stand-up triple.
Well, we said earlier that you can't hit triples here. Now we've seen 2 of them.
2.
You see Darrell Hamilton with a wry smile. He's got a long way to go on this ball, just off the tip of his glove. If he doesn't slide, if he dives for it, his momentum will carry him into the ball. When you slide this way, it slows you down. See how it slows it down? It pulls his glove back? That's the reason he missed it. That's a big pillow out there, by the way. That is a, it looks like running into a pillow. So he could have caught that ball, run into the wall, and been fine.
He may not have known that.
It's 9-1.
It's 9-1, yeah. So Dave Magadan, who had 13 triples in his major league career, has added his first of this season. He's on at third base with the 4th Padre hit. And fouled off by Damian Jackson. The Padres with a chance to get another one on the board. The only run was in the first inning. They have stranded only 4 base runners, and only 2 of those in scoring position tonight. They do get the leadoff man on here. First time in the game they've had the leadoff man on. And a strike taken. Didn't like it. He's gone. Yoshi gets his 4th K.
Number 24, second baseman.
Gary, you've seen enough games. I've played in enough games to know when it's 9-1 and it's remotely close, and you're a young player, you better swing. Umpires are people too, so they say.
Harsh. Yeah, you better be cutting. David Newland up. 1 down now with a runner on at third base.
They used to tell you that when I first came into the league eons ago. Swing the bat, kid. And they would tell you. They would warn you.
And they meant it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I took it to heart.
2-strike count. Jeff Tam in the bullpen. Mets have had a couple of people up down there just getting time in today. Yoshi with a 9-1 lead. A chopper right back to him. He holds the runner up and makes the play. So Magadan halfway down the line stopped and went back, and there are 2 down. I want to remind you the kart series continues from the Chicago Motor Speedway Saturday, 6 Eastern on ESPN2, qualifying for the Target Grand Prix of Chicago. Then tune in Sunday at 4 Eastern on ABC and catch the current point leaders, Dario Franchetti, Juan Montoya, and Jimmy Bassett. Battle for the checkered flag in the inaugural Grand Prix of Chicago. That's all coming up on the Deuce and on ABC. Ground ball to second base again. Luis Lopez up with it. And he gets the out. So Owens retired, and a leadoff triple is not converted into a run.
You know, I thought every deodorant worked the same. Until I tried longer-lasting, high-endurance from Old Spice. Nothing stronger at stopping odor longer. If you do this or this, you're gonna sweat. but high endurance will help you stop odor better than any other deodorant. It has a 24-hour formula that evaporates less quickly, so it lasts longer. Guaranteed. Or call 1-800-PROVE-IT, and they'll buy you a stick of yours. Take the challenge, because this is more than the best deodorant. It's the high endurance of deodorant. And give this Pure Sports scent a shot.
I'll be at the office.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my back. Here, try this. Crazy you'll blow his cover. Use sports cream. Get all the pain relief without the medicine odor.
How is Steve? Office.
How's it looking, Chief?
It's looking good, TJ. Real good.
So what's she dialing?
She's dialing 1-800-COLLECT. We're in good shape.
Oh, no. I think her friend's gonna dial 0.
Well, maybe she doesn't know 1-800-COLLECT can save $1 or $2.
I'll rescue her.
Can't send a boy to do a man's job, son.
1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
Lately, people have been coming to Wendy's with a lot more than just an appetite. Introducing Wendy's French Onion Chicken Grill. A whole breast filet, bacon, mozzarella, sauteed onions, and a French onion sauce. Wendy's new French Onion Chicken Grill. It gives lunch a delightfully different flavor.
Some people just know how to live.
Try one today.
With Fred Litt, I'm Gary Thorne. Welcome back to San Diego, everybody. 9-1. Mets out hitting the Padres 14-4 in this game. And we go to the 9th inning. Mets trying to win their 74th ball game of the year and have the one-game lead over the Atlanta Braves. Carlos Reyes, the 4th pitcher for San Diego. Foul back by Darrell Hamilton. The starter, Stan Spencer, worked just 3 innings, gave up 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 homers. He is the pitcher of record. Sato Yoshi has gone the distance for the Mets. Hamilton, a single his last time up, takes that up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Roger Cedeno is playing in right field. The Mets have 2 center fielders by trade in Hamilton and Cedeno. 2 real speedsters out there. Biggest problem they've had since Darrell Hamilton came over is not running into each other. They both are so used to calling off other outfielders that they've had about 3 almost collisions.
That's a real problem, and when you're the center fielder, you have to take charge, and you got to tell your other guys, hey, listen, you played here before, but I'm that guy out here now. Oops.
Nevin tried to pick that one up. Barehanded was the only chance he had against Hamilton, who was fast down the line. And he didn't get it.
Well, Phil Nevin is in there for his bat, but he's a pretty good third baseman. You know, he came up in college as a third baseman, and that's why he asked or begged for a chance to play third base, because that's his natural spot. Angels moved him to catcher, and Houston had him at third base behind Caminiti. But that's his natural position. That's where he feels most comfortable. That's just a tough play.
That's a base hit. Mets have 15 in the ball game. And here's Benny Agbayani. Nevin even got moved to the outfield for a time. That's tough, boy, when you're moving around like that, especially catching. Swung on a miss. He said before the game, I think it really helped me to have done some catching, Wendell in the bullpen, because I got another perspective of the game I didn't have before, having to call a ball game. Third base is where he wants to be and where he should be next year for the Padres. Benny Agbayani, 0-2 delivery to him. Towering fly ball to right field and deep. Way back, Owens, warning track, puts it away. Runner halfway, Hamilton back to first. So Agbayani with a couple of doubles, and now 2 for 4. Upcoming schedule for the Mets. Cardinals will be in New York. So will the Astros. That's a tough series. Then the Diamondbacks, then the Astros, and then the Rockies. Bobby Valentine knows right there are some real tough ball games. Then they'll come back out, as we said, to Los Angeles for a trip where the only West Coast team they play is L.A.
You know, that Rocky series is the one that scares you, because you never know what you're going to get with those guys. I mean, they can just come out and pound you, but they're going to give up a lot. There's no question.
can wear your staff down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They can wear you out for the next series or the series after that even.
Yoshi looks like he's going to get a chance at a complete game. Ray Ordonez, 3 hits and a walk. Perfect on the night at the plate. Runner at first, 1 away. The Diamondbacks beat the Cubs tonight 3-1. They are 19 games over 500. First time in their short 2-year history. And they've got Todd Stottlemyre coming back. He'll be in Pittsburgh on Friday for that game. Second year, and they're probably going to win a division title. My. A 3-ball, 1-strike count on Ray Ordonez. Inside corner strike. We'll take it to 3-2. Mets will go 7-2 against San Diego with a win here tonight. And missed it. Reyes gives up the walk. Mets have drawn 7 walks in the ball game tonight. Another reason why they are number 1 in on-base percentage. They are second in walks in the National League. And Masato Yoshi has come to the plate every time tonight with people on. Sacrificed first time, sacrificed the second, hit into a double play with a couple on in the 5th inning. Hit into another double play in the 7th inning with 2 on. Bobby Valentine's going to give him a chance. There you see the Dodgers over the Marlins. Todd Hundley. Long ball out tonight for the Dodgers. And that pitch is taken down low for a ball. Yoshi up with 1 down. And 2 on. Ordonez, 5 plate appearances, 5 times on tonight. 3 singles, 2 walks. 1-1.
Well, Gary, Yoshi's helped himself out tonight, too, with those 2 sacrifices early in the ball game when the score was still in doubt. Plus, in the first double play he hit into, he did play to run. He didn't get credited with an RBI, but he got the run home.
Well, that's more like the pitcher hitting we know and love right there.
But, you know, he's hitting 200, so he puts the bat on the ball, and really as a pitcher, Bobby lost a little interest after that swing.
1-2 delivery to him, and Yoshi a grounder has a chance for his 3rd double play hit into. He gets it. Reyes to Jackson to Magadan. There's golden sombreros, but 3 double plays in a row. I don't know what the term is for that.
With an 83-year truck heritage behind us, we decided to try something a little different.
Hey! You left your wallet on the trunk!
Introducing the 215 horsepower Rally Sport-inspired Isuzu V-Cross. Theoretically, still a truck.
It's that time again. NFL 99 is coming your way. And this year, Sports Illustrated and NFL Films want you to grab on to the ultimate preseason package. 3 great gifts. The official NFL Films video of your favorite team and a limited edition NFL Team Sports Watch. Both free with your paid subscription. Plus, when you use your credit card, SI's Super Bowl Millennium Football free. Your rugged team sports watch features the logo of your favorite team. Pick a team, any team. The choice is yours. With your official NFL team video, you'll see if your team will shine in 99. Call now. Get 54 issues of SI for only $1.47 an issue. Save 50% off the cover price. Use your credit card and we'll also send this collectible Millennium Football featuring the official logo from every Super Bowl free. It's the ultimate preseason package, free from Sports Illustrated and nowhere else. Get into it.
Masato Yoshi going out to try and get his 2nd complete game in his career. He's got a pretty good chance with a 9-1 lead in this ball game. Want to remind you, Sports Center's coming up next. Astros come back for the win. A's Red Sox Game 3. National Football League. Preseason underway. Stand by for Sports Center. Those and all the other sports stories coming up. Please. It's no fun in that man's uniform right now. And this guy's uniform is great. Only complete game against Cincinnati in '98. Won that one 6-1. One complete game this season. Kenny Rogers got it Sunday against San Francisco. The Mets are the last team to get a complete game. They have only one. The Milwaukee Brewers have two.
Well, see, now they know how to do it. See, they say, oh, that's how you do it.
You stay out there.
Oh, I see. Here's Kenny Rogers. Talking with the professor there. Probably about golf.
Probably. Well, I don't think a comment's needed, actually.
They're still here. That's comment enough.
That's right. Ruben, and they're not getting paid to be here, so, I mean, what more can you say? Here's Ruben Rivera against Masato Yoshii. Broken back ground ball, foul outside of third base. Rivera came on for Tony Gwynn. He's sitting in the third spot. Another one of the young players they want to see do well. His problem's been strikeouts. A lot of them. Right now, his ratio of strikeouts per plate appearance is #1.
Well, he's been working with one of the best hitting instructors in baseball, Merv Retman, and Merv will marvel at Rivera for 3 or 4 days, and then he'll go into a funk like he's never seen a pitcher before. He doesn't react against breaking balls very well. He can hit a fastball. There you see him pull off. You see where his head was there, and he's looking towards left field. And he'll do that for stretches of 3 or 4 games where he'll get one hit and 16, 17 at bat, strike out 6 or 7 times, and then he'll be a world beater for 3 or 4 games. And they just want, you know, the real Ruben Rivera to show up one way or the other, so they know, because he's a gem defensively. And the guy can go get him. He's got a strong arm. He can really do it in the outfield. So they'd love for this guy to come through.
And that one's a base hit by Phil Nevin. Matt Franco to play it back in. Rivera strikes out once every 3.3 times to the plate. Worst in the majors. And Bruce Bochy was saying before the game what concerns him is he's so hard on himself that he kind of carries it with him to the next at-bat.
Yeah, sometimes that's where you need a veteran player. Sometimes coaches, they're okay, but you don't talk to coaches sometimes you would talk to a veteran guy. A guy that's been around the block and maybe experienced that kind of problem. Now, Tony Gwynn's never experienced that kind of funk. Wally Joyner has to a certain extent this year. But you need somebody that can say, hey, kid, you know, just let's go out and have a sarsaparilla and talk about it. Let's talk some baseball and don't worry about it.
One ball, one strike count. Young players. What you hope in an organization, of course, is that they don't learn how to lose in a season like this. They're not going to learn how to win, but you don't want them to learn how to lose. Now one slapped there down the line, John Vander Waal. Evans on his way to third, played in by Matt Franco. It'll be a stand-up double for Vander Waal. So the Padres, with a couple of hits with one down, put 2 in scoring position. Bobby Valentine looking out there, really would like to see his starter get through this ball game with a 9-1 lead.
Well, that's a pretty nice piece of hitting by Vander Waal. He just slapped it right by the bag, and one of those things that could have just as easily gone foul for Yoshi, but
Ricky Gonzalez will be the pinch hitter for Carlos Reyes, the pitcher. Gonzalez, another one of the young players, getting a chance behind the plate. 25-year-old catcher started last night's game. Comes off the bench here. Masato Yoshi in with a strike with one down. Padres now 6 hits in the game. One away, runners at second and third. Inside corner strike. Gonzalez turns away. In case you were wondering, Yoshi, who was hit into 3 double plays, has not established a record. Joe Torre has the record for grounding into double plays as a Met. 4 of them back in 1975. The Yankee manager. 2 strike count. Almost caught a piece of cloth right there. Last starts he's made, he worked 6 innings, 3 innings, 1 inning, and an inning and a third. Time for a complete game tonight. 1-2 delivery. Foul tip. Pratt could not hang on. They had a ball and 2 strikes. 34-year-old, 13-16 in his major league career, having spent most of his pro career in Japan. OP and Hideo Nomo, of course, were on the Mets staff before Nomo was released. Nomo has come back and all of a sudden pitching well again.
Yeah, they found a flaw in his delivery, and that's why he lost the speed off his fastball.
1-2. It'll stay that way. Runners remain at third and second here with 1 down in the bottom of the 9th inning. Gonzalez, the pinch hitter. Could drive Yoshi out of the game, possibly, if he was to get a hit here. 1-2 delivery. And there's 1 and not quite in time for 2. Vanderwall back into the bag. Lopez, the easy line drive catch. 2 down. So Gonzalez retired, and Yoshi's 1 out away from his first complete game of the year and the second of his career. For Bobby Valentine, Fred, we were talking about this between innings. What it means to the bullpen, most of all, is mental rest.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Physically, they're probably in pretty decent shape, but mentally, after the 3rd inning, they just relaxed. It's like a day off.
And it is a day off. This ball game is over. A 9-1 victory. Masato Yoshi gets the complete game win, and the Mets have beaten San Diego for the 7th time this year. Sports Center is coming up next. For Fred Lynn and our entire ESPN crew here in San Diego, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Long ball. The Mets used it tonight. Good night from Quailcom. We invite you to celebrate another moment in ESPN history as we leave you in our Wednesday night doubleheader.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, proud to be celebrating our 20th anniversary. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. Go.com. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Right about now on Sports Center, pitcher Mike Hampton. Nice 286 batting average, but how about win number 17? Could the Reds keep the pace in the Central? And how does Larry Walker influence the battle between the Mets and Braves? Hey, anybody having a Big Mac attack? Pudge and Igor trying to match the best offense in the bigs. Who wins Game 3 of the wild card showdown at Fenway? Pat Riley staying or going? Vin Baker staying or going? This quarterback just trying to get close to stepping on the field. This running back takes steps at getting back on the field. And this all-pro is just taking it one step at a time.
They don't rush wine, and they sure ain't gonna rush crime.
And now a note from our sponsor.